Hello, I'm Anti-Derivative Jill, and this is Indefinite Lunch and Infinite Combinations number 42, which actually, that gives me the idea that when we get to 42 for Plomeek Tea Time, I think we should review Hitchhikers.
Don't forget your towel.
Yes. But today, we're reviewing the next original series episode in production order, The Squire of Gothos.
Gothos?
It's Gothos, yeah.
Okay. I
Today
just wanted to check the pronunciation.
For today, we're saying Gothos.
Okay, Gothos.
I'm joined with Pop Culture Curator and Scotty R37. Hey, guys.
Ahoy.
Hello, everybody. Good to see you all.
And all the cool, yeah, and you in the chat, too. Hey, you. If you're lurking or watching on the replay, I hope you're having a good day, and also to those who are in the chat. Today we have Herc130. He's kicked everyone out of the office so he can listen to the show. It's good to be the boss. And
Yes,
actually, you know what? Gorilla put in a review, and I knew it was going to be dismissed, so I started. And he says, so basically, if I remember right, you got some drunk teen that looks like he's 40 who decides to bully Kirk, so Kirk has to put him over his knee. Yeah, pretty much. He just summed it up in a half sentence.
Okay, but also, this is the beginning of the Q continuum.
Yeah, potentially. This is the potential notion of where Gene Roddenberry got inspiration from his own creation here.
Like, I think I am firmly convinced that Trelane is a Q.
Did Roddenberry write this episode?
No, Paul Schneider.
Then he got the inspiration from Paul Schneider.
Right.
Okay.
But I never know how much influence Gene Roddenberry has because he touches every episode. So I don't know really what's going on in the writing of these episodes.
He did have final approval, I would assume.
Sure.
Well, he did that because he would get paid every time he had a co-writing credit. He got an extra paycheck. So
Gene Roddenberry
the script.
That's right.
Gene Roddenberry believes in an optimistic future, but he also believes in his checks cashing.
So you're right, Pop Culture. Nerdport Lifeform says, I love how this episode opens with Sulu and Kirk vanishing from the bridge in the middle of the Star Desert. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. And we have an animated series review that goes along with this one at 8 p.m. Central on Mondays, but we're going to be taking off next Monday for the holidays, and we'll return in the new year for the first episode in season 2, The Pirates of Orion.
Yay.
And then
what a way to start the year. That'll be fantastic.
Right? Then you have a channel too.
I do, and we're going to be doing our Christmas episode. We're going to be talking about Batman Returns tomorrow night.
And I'll be there too.
You will be there too. And so we're totally gonna Batman it up tomorrow. But that's not why we're here. We're here for Trelane. Retired, sir.
Retired. That's why he's Squire and not General.
Exactly.
For reference to the production of these episodes, all the facts, some of the facts I share comes from 365, Star Trek 365, the original series by Paula M. Block and Terry J. Erdman. The idea to use this, of course, is from Raquel Briggs, who used it on Saturday Night Star Trek when they talked about the original series on Clobber Times channel. So make sure you're subscribed to them. And also read Raquel's really cool, really amazing science fiction short stories. Now available in paperback, hardback, and Kindle.
And because it is the Christmas season, if you want to order, probably today is the day to do it, so it arrives before Christmas.
Right, exactly. So now I need my slides. Why haven't I put those up yet?
Well, I wanted to say hello to Herc. I wanted to say hello to Mr. Brown Alliance. Admiral Teague is here. Oh my God, that was, oh my stars. Like, this episode is chock-a-block full of great stills. Like, that's a great, and you know what? Let's give it up for Lieutenant DeSalle.
Yes, he
I'm a
definitely
big
played role
fan.
in this episode.
I'm a big fan of Lieutenant DeSalle.
So this episode first aired on January 12th, 1967. It was written by Paul Schneider and directed by Don McDougall. And Paul Schneider also wrote Balance of Terror, explaining why this episode is also very well written.
Oh, you know what? But okay, so just for like inside baseball, Jill, you and I watched this together last night, right?
That's right. Correct.
And so when like DeSalle is the good version of Lieutenant Styles.
He's definitely more standout. He definitely says a whole lot more.
He's more
Characterized.
Starfleet.
He
He
knows
has
what
no
he's doing.
prejudice. Like, I'm
That's true.
sorry. If I'm being a little exuberant, it's because I really, really like this episode.
I do too.
But like he is, like DeSalle is the good version of this guy.
Leave any bigotry in your quarters. There's no room for it on the bridge.
Like DeSalle does his job. And that's why I love that guy.
Right. Well, he's a little aggressive, but he does his job. You're right.
Well, but he's not prejudiced. He is curious. He does do his job. He doesn't hesitate. He's not like Bailey and he's not like Styles. Like I appreciate this one-off character.
Yeah. He makes a decision and he stands by it.
Yeah. And Kirk is okay with it. Kirk's on his side.
And Trelane is usually kind of polite, except for when Kirk wants to leave. And that's when Trelane says this quote from the Nurpora life form. He says, "You will."
You go.
No,
you go.
do it. No.
Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah.
You will behave, or won't you? Or I shall become very, very angry. I remember getting chills the first time I heard that. Retired, sir.
Yes. And
hello, the Nerdporial life form.
Yeah. Oh, he has a great channel too.
Does so.
And Matt G. Hey, Matt G. And I also put your link to your channel.
You're very gracious. Thank you.
Fantasmagorium, Pop Culture Curator, Nerdporial Lifeforms channel there. And hello to Mr. Brown Alliance. How are you doing today? And he has a fantastic channel too. He just had a really great weekend stream. He had about Avatar and a whole bunch of other topics, Rings of Power and everything. He talked about all of it. It was a really good stream. I enjoyed it.
May I take a digression?
Please.
Before we get into the episode proper. I was having a conversation with someone last night. Mr. Brown is pointing that out. He says that I was totally correct about the Wrath of Khan director's cut. Never noticed it before. Have you guys ever seen Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, the director's cut?
I've seen The Wrath of Khan. I don't know if I've seen the director's cut or which cut I saw.
There is a moment in the director's cut that ruins the movie for me. And so I'm just going to say theatrical cut or nothing. But thank you for noticing, Mr. Brown. I appreciate it.
That's great. Oh, wait. We talked about that last night on the animated series, didn't you?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's where that conversation came from.
Sure. You know what? I
Awesome.
love conversations that I was a part of that I don't remember.
Really? Oh, that
Yeah,
would be
because I
nice.
get to hear about them all over again.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Message me on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
G'day.
So the inner. Oh yeah. Oh, Pop Culture Curator. Do you have something you want to share before we start the episode?
I was gonna say, I guess I'm the only one who's. Oh well. Well, yeah, I can do that. But I was just gonna say, I think I'm the only one who does not think that Trelane and Q are related or the same species.
What? Oh, then this is interesting. Why do you not?
Well, as you guys know, I'm not a fan of Q because he's magic,
Mhm.
and Trelane
Possibly,
obviously.
not necessarily.
Trelane obviously has a mechanical device where he's getting his powers.
I kind of saw, and you know what?
Some of
I was
both.
I was anticipating this. Thank you, Pop. I think that the mirror or the power that is required for Trollane's trickery, much like Ardra, but
Ardra.
I
What's that?
Ardra from the Next Generation. That's sorry, I
Oh.
didn't mean to bring it up. Anyway, I think that the mirror is a Q's training wheels.
Because he's a child, so this
Yeah.
is like a toy.
Yes. That's why
That's
he's
not
on
bad.
a planet as opposed to being, omniscient.
Is that
That
canon?
could be.
No, it's not.
No,
It's
no,
actually,
it's not.
there is a series of books by Greg Cox called The Q Continuum. I think there are 2 of them or 3 of them, and there's Q Strike, Q Zone, Q Space. And it's a fan service collection of books. And I don't like Greg Cox because I think that he is as bad a writer as I am, and yet he has 3 books more. Anyway, but he talks about the entire Q continuum, the birth of the Q continuum. Trelane is based on that, and Peter David's book Q Squared. That it is.
Yes, and
Trelane's a Q.
although those books are not canon or anything,
They are not. They are
I
beta.
do believe that there's potential overlap between the 2 species, even though they never name who Trelane is as a species.
And I think that even John Delancey references the performance of William Campbell in more in the Voyager episodes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, even in Q Less. Oh my God.
And we'll
Which
get more
one?
into that as we go along.
I'm sorry. I just want to talk about Q.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. Disregard what I said.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about
you're
don't
tangents.
good. You're
disregard
good.
it. We're going to bring it up several times during this live
This
stream.
is a
So
this
this
is a
just the
debatable
introduction of that
episode.
topic.
This is a
It's
debatable
absolutely
episode.
wonderful. I like it. Hello, Bird of Prey 5, Kapla.
Kapla!
And also, hey to Admiral Teague and James Caserta. I'm not going to read that. But hello, James Caserta. And
DJ Ronnie G.
G
Oh,
says,
it's the totally not Q episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Admiral Teague says to Pop Culture after they destroy the suspected device, Trelane still has power. The mirror could have been a power restrictor put on him by the parent beings. Like you said, like training wheels.
I thought it
yeah,
was like
exactly.
an antenna or an amplifier.
Oh, that's cool too.
Mm-hmm. Possibly. And hello to Ervik Sonder. And so the Enterprise is passing through an apparent void of space to get to Beta Colony 6. And there's your styles, or not styles. Not styles. The Sol.
Bonjour, Desal. Au contraire. And then doing, doing. I love that sound effect. That is probably, you know what? I'm going to make that my notification sound.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Come
and
on.
you're going to hear it. Well, yeah, he's groaning because he realizes he's going to have to hear it whenever you get a message.
No, I was actually groaning because somebody came home. Sorry. It was not related to the stream.
Oh, darn.
I'm hoping who
The
came home
dogs.
doesn't make a lot of noise. No. Sorry.
It is the dogs.
No. A roommate. I'm just hoping they keep quiet.
Well,
Go ahead,
say hi
continue.
for
But
me.
that's all right. I have loud children. It's going to be fine.
Okay.
And it's not even relevant to the story, but it's great characterization. I love how they keep developing the banter between Spock and McCoy here regarding comparing a void of space to a desert.
Mm-hmm.
McCoy says, void, star, desert. The word conjures up pictures of dunes, oases, and mirages. And Kirk says, sunlight, palm trees. We're 900 light years from that kind of desert, Bones. And Spock says, the precise meaning of the word desert is a waterless, barren wasteland. I fail to understand your romantic nostalgia for such a place. And McCoy says, that doesn't surprise me, Mr. Spock. I can't imagine a mirage ever disturbing those mathematically perfect brainwaves of yours.
Well, that's, you know what? And again, I'm going to go back into beta canon, but like Spock's entire culture is based on a single man pursuing logic across a desert.
Mhm.
Well, like Surak literally walked across the forge.
Well, that's probably why he doesn't find desert romantic, because that's his whole planet. Like,
Exactly.
that's just
But also,
everywhere.
and you know what? I don't like to do this all the time, but I will. I think that Leonard McCoy is, I think he's being mean right now.
Sure.
Like, he has to know the history of Vulcan.
So you're
My point is that he is alluding to a desert and saying it is unacceptable. I think he's poking.
Possibly.
That's all.
So they find a planet which Spock's investigation didn't turn up.
He looked like, go back one.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
That's a man who has to poo. Go next. Thank you.
Okay. They find a planet which Spock's investigation doesn't turn up. Kirk says they don't have time to see what's going on with this planet. So he orders the data to be collected so they can get to Colony 6 and, share the information on subspace radio. But then
No, go back to this one. Okay, so back one, please. Give it up for Lieutenant Yeager or Jaeger. Whatever
Jaeger.
Is it Jaeger or Jaeger? We had this fuss last night. Is it Jaeger? Okay.
It's Jaeger.
And then go forward one.
Mm-hmm. But we're not there yet, actually.
No, but the thing is that I don't have a Tinder profile. Like I didn't until last night. But when I saw this is not only my profile picture on Tinder, but this is my description. It's greetings and felicitations.
Greetings and felicitations.
Oh my God, I love it. Play it again.
Greetings and felicitations.
If I'm being silly today, it's because it's a very silly episode and I am enjoying every moment.
It is. It's a wonderfully fun episode and well written. And even though it's silly, the dialogue is really rich and complex and really fun to listen to. We start with the ship's log here. Stardate. This is after Kirk and Sulu have been vanished. Stardate 2124.5. First Officer Spock reporting for Captain James Kirk. We are orbiting the lone unrecorded planet in the Star Desert. For 4 hours, we have made every possible instrument sweep, but Captain Kirk and Helmsman Sulu remain unaccounted for. I have placed the ship on red alert. And
makes sense.
Yeah, DeSalle wants to form a rescue party, but Kirk needs Spock needs to.
Oh, wait. Hang on a second. I would like go back one.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, Pop Culture Curator, we are going to have a field day after we're done with this slide. But Pop, could you please read what is on the screen? Like the view screen on the Enterprise.
Hip hip hurrah, tally ho.
Thank you. Again, new ringtone.
Yeah, so Yeager reports on the state of the planet. It has no soil, vegetation, and the atmosphere is toxic. And there's tornadoes and volcanoes and wouldn't support life for very long. And Spock sends DeSalle to lead the search party with Yeager and Dr. McCoy. And I like when Spock says if Kirk or Sulu sent those messages on the monitor, they might be irrational. So
keep an eye out because when DeSalle beams down, his middle fingernail is clearly purple.
Why?
Ask DeSalle. Don't ask me. I don't know.
Sorry. No, don't be sorry. That's cool. I didn't notice that.
Maybe he busted his finger. Like, when you get like your...
It sounds like a bruise.
Yeah, something like that. But Pop, I thought that you would be all over the belts.
The belts
like they don't have the gold belts right now. They have like leather wraparounds.
Well, it's the black one. They've had those the last couple of episodes. It's just that now they have different gear hanging from them.
But usually they sort of conceal their equipment underneath their tunic.
Their shirts, right?
Like-
But
Yeah.
I think the reason why they didn't hear is you see that big box on their left. I think that's what's creating oxygen for them.
Oh wait, we have a. Hey Jill, do we have a thing?
Yeah, Jaeger checks out the atmosphere of the planet, saying it's like Earth. So yeah, I do have something for that.
You have to play it because I love it.
Is there air? You don't know.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what tricorders are for, though.
right, and that's what they have here. Well, the reason they do this is because all their sensors say that the planet is completely uninhabitable. When they get down there, they're not expecting to be able to breathe, but they can.
What mysticism is this?
Mhm. Everything's
Yeah.
fine.
There you go. Like he's just like, yeah, it seems fine.
Oh, I had a picture. Oh, well, okay, maybe I can show it from here. Did I send it to myself? No, I didn't. I had a picture
Uh-oh.
from the book. I have some words from the book too, but I think I just have them on my phone.
Oh no.
So I need to.
Should I call you so you can find your phone?
No, I have my phone. I just
Okay.
need to grab them.
Fair enough. So we should vamp. And this again
Mhm.
is Lieutenant Desal, the hero of this episode. Many episodes of Star Trek have revolved around whatever happened to Lieutenant Desal. Usually, people ask, "Hey, where's Lieutenant Desal?"
Who asks these questions?
Usually, Tasha Yar.
So let's see.
I wanted to bring up, if I could,
Please.
the part of Trelane was really written the part of Trelane was originally written for Roddy McDowall. The reason why it was eventually decided not to use him was that it was feared that the mannerisms of the character combined with McDowall's look would make the character appear gay. Campbell was chosen because his huskier look / build would offset the foppish mannerisms of the character. When Campbell went for his audition, yes.
2 questions. Is
Okay.
Roddy McDowall gay?
That was never actually confirmed, but yes.
Oh, so he's like a
Oh,
liberal
I sent them
kind of
to
thing?
you instead of myself.
Yeah, he had
Roddy
an affair with Tab Hunter, among others.
So he was a gentleman who enjoyed gentlemen.
Yes.
Okay.
But he
Just
kept
curious.
it
I didn't even.
secret
This is news.
until he passed away. He officially died of cancer.
Right. Anyway.
But when William Campbell went for the audition, he had just read one paragraph. All right.
There is a second thing, and I apologize. I know pop culture. I don't mean to interrupt. I have to do it because it's
Oh no, you're
topical and
fine. Go for
important.
it.
Thank you, sir. Hey Jill, on Quantum Leap, Roddy McDowall replaces Al for an episode.
That happens?
That
Yes.
happens.
Great.
Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No spoilers.
But Al disappears from existence, and he does a countdown. And when he gets to 100, you get Roddy McDowall's voice.
Hey, don't
And-
spoil the whole episode. I just wanted to let her know that Roddy McDowall is going to be in Quantum Leap.
Mhm.
Anyway, you were saying, I apologize. I interrupted twice.
Oh, no problem. When Campbell went for his audition, he had just read one paragraph when the producer broke it up, saying, "Go straight to wardrobe. He's perfect for the part."
Yeah.
And there's that beacon, which later on comes out in other episodes.
What does it do in other episodes? Because I've seen that thing many times.
Let me find, I gotta play that again. Or I gotta get. I'm having to scroll through my stuff. Sorry.
No, but I think we should totally check out the what is it? It's a beacon, isn't it?
The laser beacon apparently
Laser beacon. Yeah.
apparently previously in Star Trek Charlie X and Star Trek the Galileo 7 was reused as a sort of soldering tool by Kirk in Star Trek the Doomsday Machine. It is
Okay.
identified in the making of Star Trek as an offensive-defensive ray gun, a description later used by Franz Joseph in the Starfleet Technical Manual.
Cool.
So there you go.
I just like the prop. I recognize it.
So they find the stone building. Their communicators don't work, but they scan the planet. They find this building with a wooden and iron door. And I had found the drawing. This drawing comes from the book, the animated series. Not an animated series, sorry. The 365 book. And this is a drawing of the Trelane.
Well, and we do get to see that exterior at the end, really, when Kirk is trapped in the cage.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me while watching this how limited the sets and the budget was compared to Mission Impossible. You can just tell Mission Impossible is taking a lot of their money.
Okay, go back one.
Sure.
So I would like to just recognize Lieutenant DeSalle. He is in charge of this away team. You can tell because he is wearing gold. If you're a Starfleet officer and you're doing something, say you're wearing blue or red, you go to the guy wearing gold. It is an identifying marker. That's the guy who's in command. So big ups to Lieutenant DeSalle.
Well, he's in command until Kirk is unfrozen.
Well, his
Well,
job
Spock was-
is to make Kirk unfrozen.
Yeah.
In the Galileo, Spock was in command of the landing party, and he was wearing blue. And the
That
other two
is,
guys were
you know
wearing
what?
gold.
That's a good point. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Yeah, I think
That is a very good
it's
point.
But
it's
at
apparently it's whoever's assigned to lead the landing party. I think.
no, but then again, okay, here's the other thing that you can do. If you need to find someone in control, like, because we're all subservient to the command structure of Starfleet, yes?
Yeah, it depends.
So you look at the cuffs and you're like, okay, you're wearing gold, but you have no stripes. So you're like
Rank-
an ensign. I don't
Rank
need
matters to a certain point,
rank
but like,
matters, division matters.
well, rank does matter, but like pop culture says, it matters who is assigned to lead the away mission. Spock says, Spock can say anybody's in charge of the landing party, and that's who leads it.
Well, and also, let's be fair. Everyone who is assigned to the away team, landing party, what have you, they all know what their team is, right?
Yeah, they're all on the same
Possibly.
team.
Yes.
They're on the Enterprise.
I'm overanalyzing rank structure and division colors. Anyway, big ups to Lieutenant DeSalle. Moving on.
Agreed. So we see lots of cool things here. Well, I didn't get an image of it, but Napoleon on a stand, a suit of armor, a globe, tapestry, and swords and shields on the wall, an open fire, a harpsichord, and a large mirror. And
Have you ever heard a harpsichord live? I haven't.
no, but
Okay.
here's the salt monster.
Hey,
and McCoy does do a double take when he sees is the M113 creature.
Yeah,
Yes.
is that Nancy?
That's a
That
Nancy
is.
Crater, yes.
well, don't forget, like, Trelane is creating images or creating an environment based on echoes of humanity, right?
Well, from what I'm reading is what they surmise is that the reason why these are in his gallery is he's been watching the Enterprise crew for some time and earthly planets.
Ooh, that's good. I like that.
Well, sure. He has a visual range of 900 million, at least 900 light years. And so maybe it's not even looking at the Enterprise. It might just be actually looking at a time in which this species was more numerous.
Yes. And the species could have been on other planets. It may not have been indigenous to just that one planet.
And so Sulu and Kirk are frozen like a gallery art display. When
Yes.
McCoy confirms, he says there's no readings. They're like waxworks figures.
By the way,
The
this
door
episode
goes-
marks the first.
Oh, yeah.
This episode marks
Sorry.
the first appearance of Michael Berry or Vincent DeSalle, whose first name was pulled from the episodes after the script. The character later in Star Trek This Side of Paradise and Star Trek Cat's Paw. While
What's
DeSalle
his
serves
name?
as a navigator in this episode, the actor Michael Barrier,
Mm.
Vincent DeSalle,
Vinny.
and he later returns in This Side of Paradise and Star Trek Cat's Paw. While DeSalle serves as a navigator in this episode, he is a biologist in the former and assistant chief engineer in the latter.
I can't. You know what? I love DeSalle. He is the John Hamm of the original series. I'm glad
you'll
that he
see him
gets
again,
3
at
episodes.
least.
I can't wait, dude. You just made me so happy. This is fantastic.
Yeah, you thought he was just a one-off. So
I thought it was a one-off, but DeSalle's coming back.
Yay.
Anyway, here's Trelane, and he can play a mean harpsichord.
He is
Oh.
playing the Sonata in C major K159 by Domenico Scarlatti.
Neat.
And the only thing I have to get out of the way right off the hop here is this is William Campbell. He plays Koloff as well.
Yep.
But in the second season of Star Trek The Next Generation, I'm sorry, pop culture,
Oh, you're fine. No apologies necessary.
the outrageous O'Connor is played by a gentleman named
Billy Campbell.
William O. Campbell. And the reason that he is William O. Campbell is because of this gentleman on screen right here. Billy Campbell could not be William Campbell because of Trelane.
Now, Billy Campbell is the same
Yeah.
guy, right? He's the same guy who was the Rocketeer, right?
Right.
Hells yes.
Exactly.
Right. Yes,
I
and he
love-
married the beautiful. I can't remember the actress. The actress who was in Rocketeer. He married her. Very lucky man.
You know, it may not be Billy Campbell's birthday, but happy birthday, Billy Campbell.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I just had to get that out of my system. I apologize for abruptly stopping everything for the Rocketeer.
William
No, that was a
William
great
Campbell
addition.
recalled. William Campbell recalled in an interview that the part of Trelane, as it was just a great role, it was sensational. I'll never forget it, and it would be very easy for any actor who had any training to play the Squire of Gothos. The character was so well written, and of course, it was the show.
And also, if
Yeah,
you
it was.
want,
According to
He
Campbell.
did a great job.
if you want more William Campbell as Trelane, there is an interplay video game called Star Trek Judgment Rights, and it has the entire voice cast of the original series. And William Campbell does the voice of Trelane again, but he takes the crew to World War I.
Oh,
It's
that's cool.
amazing. Like you can, it probably shows up.
I've got
YouTube,
the game, but I just
Star
haven't got that part in it yet.
Which
Oh,
yeah, that makes
dude.
sense because
It's
he spends this
amazing.
whole episode trying to play different games, and it makes sense eventually that his game is going to go straight to an actual war.
Well, and it's an amazing Star Trek story because it puts the crew in an idealized and romantic World War One, and then there is through the game, it switches over to the reality of the horror of war, and it's
Well,
like it's a half-hour mission, but it is so like you have the entire cast of the original series of Star Trek, plus you get William Campbell. It's got all the sound effects. If you haven't played Star Trek Judgment Rights, what are you doing with your life except for going outside?
I did want to note that Paul Schneider originally wrote this episode as an anti-war statement and got his inspiration by seeing children playing war.
That makes sense because Trelane is really obsessed with war, and that's really cool that that's a theme in that video game you're talking about, because it sounds like it starts off as the idealized version of war that Trelane has, and then it morphs into reality.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my question. Even though Trelane's a full-grown man, he's supposedly very old, right? Because his species lives for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Is that right?
Well, but if you're a
Possibly.
Q, you
Yeah.
can be 900 years old and still be 9.
Well, my question is it because he's young, or is it because he has mental issues? I'll put
What
it
are
that
you
way.
asking if Trelane is on the spectrum?
Possibly. That could possibly be it. The way his parents
No.
have to keep such close thumb on him.
Well,
No, he's a rich kid.
okay, so if you compare him to Charlie X was a human who was raised with powers,
He was
but more
gifted
like a
powers,
feral.
though.
More like a feral kid. And
Wait,
so,
no, Charlie X was a human that was bestowed power.
well, yes, but he didn't have anybody to share.
Guide him. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have anybody around except for the aliens.
Humanity
Teach
does
him how to
not
be social.
deserve humanity does not deserve godlike powers in the
No.
world of Star Trek.
No, but
Like, and I'm
Trelane,
looking at Riker when Q gave Riker the Q.
Trelane was born as a non-corporeal, powerful being.
Right. Corporeal is the word you were stumbling for.
I-
I apologize. That was rude.
No, it wasn't. I meant to say non-corporeal because isn't he? I mean, he takes a corporeal form in this episode, but I don't think this is his actual form. I think his actual form is the same non-corporeal. Am I saying that word wrong?
No, you're saying it right now.
Okay.
But like, okay, but is Q a corporeal life form?
No.
Exactly. And so Trelane and Q are in the same boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
Agreed.
parents are floaty green things.
Right,
So-
but
Yeah.
Trelane's true appearance, does he look like here or does he look like his parents?
His
He looks
parents.
like his parents.
Then he's non-corporeal, right?
Right.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Agreed.
But you said Q is corporeal.
No.
No, she did not.
Oh,
He just takes the form of
okay.
humans because he wants to play
Does-
with Picard.
Does he ever take on different appearances other than as what we've seen as Q?
Yes.
Who?
He's-
Trelane?
Q.
Yes.
Q? Oh, yeah. No, Q's been like a three-headed serpent.
Okay.
He could be anything.
Hmm.
Thank you.
And
Absolutely smashing.
Oh, you know what? That just one more time, please.
Absolutely smashing.
William
see why
Campbell,
they
you
kinda-
make me smile.
Right. I can see where they struggled and try to make sure he did not seem gay. They didn't want to offend anybody,
Really?
obviously. Yeah.
I didn't get that in any section, any hint
I-
of that in the entire episode. I never
No.
even knew that was going to be a thing. This is all brand new production information to me.
Like, I don't understand because later
Me
on,
neither.
doesn't he get like a chick new
For me-
clothes?
Yeah, exactly. And he just seems exuberant to me. And
That's it.
Excited and crazy.
Yes.
Not gay.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't
Mm-hmm.
find his sexuality the most important threat.
Yeah, right. He could be, or he
He
could not
kind
be.
of
Who cares?
Find Kirk and Sulu all the way down to the planet. His where I don't even know what his genitals are. He's an alien, for the love of Pete.
Mhm.
Jill, can I share a screen really fast?
Yes, please.
All right. This is the one I tried to show for court martial, but
Okay,
I
great.
wasn't able to get it here.
I gotta catch up with the chat anyway. So let's see. Admiral Teague says they pronounce the name of the planet the way Jill said it a few times. It's consistent.
My mistake. I was just sort of tripping over things for comedy's sake. It didn't work.
It worked for me.
All right.
Admiral Teague says, I agree that Trelane is a young Q. We see another very young Q in an episode of TNG.
Oh no, Amanda
And-
Rogers is not a Q. Well, she's half Q.
So about that, I guess I can read this.
Please.
The name of Trelane's species is never mentioned in the Squire of Gothos. And while Kirk and company would encounter quite a few quasi-omnipotent entities down the road, the Organians, the Metrons, and the Melkotonians.
The witch?
I don't know. I don't remember this episode. Malcotians.
Malcotians.
Okay. Sorry, I don't remember this episode.
Oh
This
no, it's
is-
Arena.
That's Arena?
Yeah, the Malcotians for sure.
Shit. Okay. Well, I
You
I love
swore.
that episode.
I love it when you
I'm
swear.
such an idiot sometimes.
No, you're
though.
not. You're not.
I thought it was Metrons.
Oh shit, you're right.
I thought it was
thought it was-
Metrons.
yeah,
you
you're
know?
right. It is Metro.
The Malcotians. Where are the Malcotians? Are they the Are they the Spectre of the Gun aliens?
It has to be season 3 because what if I don't remember an alien?
I think the Malkotians are the
season
second. I think there's the Spectre of the Gun aliens. I was wrong. I take it back if I can.
Well, you can't because it's on air forever.
It's on
But
the internet.
But also, my ignorance is there too. So,
Are you looking it up, or should
Yes.
I? Okay. Hang on, everybody. We're just looking up our Star Trek knowledge. It
Hey, Jill,
happens this quickly.
Play this clip while you guys are looking. It's a very
Yes,
short one.
please. She's looking these up.
We're not getting the audio.
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Are you challenging me to a
There it
duel? Yes, if you have the courage.
yeah, you're
There it
right.
is.
Okay,
Thank you.
Corral.
I heard it. I don't know if YouTube heard it, but StreamYard's got the sound.
Mhm.
It was great. If you have the courage.
I
Yes,
did.
you were right. It is the Spectre of the Gun.
I need to find another copy. Yeah, I need to find another copy of the bloopers because somebody dubbed over that horrible background music. I'm not sure what it was. That droning.
Yeah, it
But
sounded
I'll-
like a
I'll find a
horror
better-
movie.
Yeah, I'll find a better copy. I apologize, but yeah, I was just trying to show the an excerpt from filming of this episode.
Darius Munchausen is here. Huzzah.
Darius is here. Hey, Darius. Cool.
Hey, Darius Munchausen. I got
The
a
video
thing to
quality
say.
was 16 millimeter handed down. Sorry, area.
Yeah. Oh, totes. No, those blooper reels are great. Darius Munchausen. I am a Terry Gilliam fan, and I just got The Man Who Killed Don Quixote on Blu-ray, and it is delightful. Anyway, back to Star Trek.
Mm-hmm. Wait, let me start this one for later. That one's a later comment.
Predator is on, like with Jesse the Body Ventura.
Herc says about this episode, uniform costs and dry cleaning bill must have been outrageous. So many uniforms.
Oh my God.
I think
Sounds
this
no, you
the salt monster looks like my old girlfriend.
well, you know what? The salt monster looks like my young girlfriend.
Trelane, Admiral Teague says Trelane can see Earth, but only the Earth from 900 light years.
But
Yeah.
William Shatner says 900, which means that would have placed this episode in the 27th century.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes,
And
right.
this is
Jaeger-
important.
Yes, it is.
I think that well, you go. It's your show.
I know, right? Jaeger notes a neat concept that Trelane has some kind of technology, maybe a telescope, so expansive that it can see 900 light years away, all the way to Earth. And that does put Star Trek further in the future than what was eventually decided on. That's because when they eventually decided it's placed in the 23rd century. But in this episode,
27th.
it's 28th. Because
28th. Oh my stars.
because the latest thing is
Still better than Discovery.
The latest reference that he knows is Alexander Hamilton. Trelane knows about Alexander Hamilton, which is
He saw
from
the musical?
the 1800s or the 19th century. So if you add 900 years to that, you get 2700. Or no,
28.
the musical didn't exist yet.
Well, no, but I'm just saying.
The historical
Trelane,
figure who tried to
Trelane looks like, he looks like a fan.
he could be.
This
He
isn't
would
my fault. Now, you
possibly.
know what? I've never thought about Trelane being dude on dude, but now that pop culture brought
Well,
it up,
me
I'm just like,
neither.
well, he's a bit dandy.
I don't know.
He's
But-
a little Liberace.
Yeah, but this Alexander Hamilton, I never saw the play. This is just the guy. To
I
me,
haven't
he's just the guy who tried to be president a whole bunch and then died in a duel, as they mentioned in this episode.
You know what? My American history is lacking, but I know that Hamilton was American.
He was.
Well, the play is just Hamilton as if he was gay.
Oh well,
I never
but he
saw
wasn't.
it, so I
Was
can't
he-
comment on it whether
was-
that's the case or not.
Was Alexander Hamilton a heterosexual?
Well, I haven't seen it myself either, but
I
I've
don't
been to
know.
San Francisco, and that it's very popular there.
Anyway, I think that William Campbell should play Alexander Hamilton.
DJ Ronnie G says harpsichord work by plucking strings. Thus, it
Yeah.
does not allow the player to control amplitude.
Amplitude. Good word.
Admiral Cheek says Paul Bettany is
Can
currently
you
with
get your
Jennifer
child out
Connelly.
of the cheese grater?
I'm hoping that maybe she quits. If she doesn't, I will check.
Okay,
Just
I'm
one-
worried. Is all.
Well, you don't have to be worried. I
Okay.
know.
Well, as long
I
as you
know the
say-
cadence.
yeah.
A mother knows the cadence of the child's screams, whether
Right.
it's
Understood.
play or if it's
As long as
in
she's having
pain.
fun, maybe she's enjoying herself.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No.
it's just it's
Stop
fun and
it.
games.
No, she's
Welcome-
not. But she has a brother, and I know that.
Welcome to Gothos.
Anyway,
Oh, that's usual.
Admiral Teague says
Lucky
Paul
Bettany.
Bettany.
Go ahead,
ahead.
Jill. Paul Bettany is currently with Jennifer Connelly from Rocketeer for a while. They have kids. Well, I was never
I know
followed Paul
that.
Bettany, but now even less. He took away Jennifer Connelly from me.
You know what? You are being mean because Paul Bettany makes Jennifer Connelly happy.
Well, I liked him until he was on Destroyed. No, what is it? I can't remember the name of that show.
Well, that's how much you dislike it, is that you don't remember?
It's a new Trek. What is it? What's it called? STD?
What?
Huh?
Star Trek Discovery? Paul
That's it.
Bettany? No,
Yeah,
Paul Bettany was never on Star Trek.
Isn't he the alien on the bridge?
No, different guy.
Oh, I got his name mixed up.
Oh, you're
Okay.
thinking of Doug Jones.
That's him.
Okay, well then no offense to Paul Bettany then. Except for
He's
taking
not
Jennifer away
offended.
from me. Except for
No,
taking Jennifer away.
I am so happy that Paul Bettany.
Oh,
makes
Paul
Jennifer
Bettany is the guy who
Connelly
played Vision. Paul Bettany
Yes.
played Vision in the Marvel movies. Okay, got it. Okay, that's it. I remember
Yep,
now.
yep.
Thank you.
He was also in a movie with Kirsten Dunst called, and you'll remember Kirsten Dunst as being Mary Jane from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. But it was in a movie with her, and it was called Wimbledon. So if you like tennis, I recommend that film. It also has
Yeah.
Sam Neill. Moving on.
Inexplicably, she married the guy that plays Jesse from Breaking Bad. Interestingly enough,
No, incorrect.
not Jesse, but the bad blonde guy. I'm sorry.
Someone, but not the. Anyways, oh my stars.
Sorry about that. Getting off.
No,
on the
it's
wrong
fine.
tangent
I
there.
know. I think I just rolled my car.
That was a good tangent. I liked it. Anyway, it was fun. Hello to Lord R.M. Feliciano and Dalek 451.
Jesse Plemons. That was it. That's why I got the name mixed up. He played Todd.
Yeah. No, Totes, you're right. It was Jesse
Todd.
Plemons.
Ugh, I hated
Right.
Todd.
Well, it's a bad character, but he's a really good
Fuck
actor.
Todd.
He's done some really good stuff.
Sorry about the swear.
No, I agree completely.
I don't even know who Todd is, but I'm on your side, lady.
You should be.
I am.
Jesse
No, he was a
Plemons.
good
That's why I got
actor.
the
Then
name
he
mixed
did.
up.
He did a great job making me hate him. So he had to be a great actor.
Right. He was
Anyway, we got
convincing
Trelane.
So James Caserta says, "I know."
How long is this show going to be?
It could be as long as you want.
All right.
I'm no longer borderline everything. I've crossed over into everything, he says. so I guess James Caserta is the same as Trelane. Herc 130 says, James Caserta, you do deserve godlike powers. Just remember your friends. And they're like winning lottery tickets.
Oh, no, you're going to make Wesley into a
All right.
grown man.
Arena is the Metrons, of course. Darius
Anybody-
says Jill's an idiot sometimes. I thought Jill
What?
was a genius all the time. No, I'm
Oh.
not. That's a misconception that's out there. I have no idea where it comes from, but I don't know a ton of stuff that I need to learn.
Well, Jill, can I like be
Or that I
sycophantic
forget
for a moment?
that I do know and just skips my mind.
There is one thing that I find stupid people possess, is that they're not curious. And you are one of the most, like, you have curiosity in
Okay.
what you seek out.
So I guess it's wrong to call myself an idiot.
Well, you're not.
intelligent, but I just lack
Can you-
knowledge.
Can you do long division?
Yes.
Great. You're not an idiot.
We. Well, but of course.
Did you just say we to long division?
Well, yeah, you do see my name, don't you?
I do. It's antiderivative.
DJ Ronnie G says he's not gay. He's just English.
No offense to English people out there.
Right.
I didn't know
offense.
that.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with anything, you know. It's
I
okay.
didn't know that Roddy McDowell had a persuasion. I never thought about Roddy McDowell having sex until today.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking from what Jaeger says. Admiral Teague says, I think Trelane had some tech to minimize the buffering on his telescope because he's focused on 1790 to 1820 America. And the star date is 2124.5. And hello to Son of a Red Shirt. How are you doing?
Hey, son of a red shirt. It's always a pleasure.
And he
Good to
agreed.
see you, sir.
Oh, it is very good for Pop Culture Curator to see you, Son of a Red Shirt, because you agree with him. Son of a Red Shirt does not think that Trelane is a Q.
Well, son of a red shirt, you're blocked and banned.
But just for 5 minutes.
No, I'm not going to push any buttons. I'm just being a jerk.
Oh, I
No,
know.
no, but that's an interesting. And okay, so why?
I meant the
not?
play, Darius. I was talking about the play, not the actual man, Darius.
No, but why is Trelane not? Like, what is that excludes him from being part of the Q continuum? I ask.
Mhm.
He's not magic.
Ask the question again, please.
I did sort of phrase that like Yoda. I apologize. What, like, I enjoy this episode because, and it's almost retrospectively, because I think this is the only Q episode of the original series. It's silly. It's charismatic, much like Q. And so I like the idea. And if it's headcanon, it's headcanon, and I could be wrong. But I think that it makes sense that this is the first episode of Q. Now, I also pile that upon 2022 Remembrance, where you have, like, Star Trek Discovery retconned the Guardian of Forever. So F that noise. But they will never be able to retcon the Q. Why? Because of Trelane. Like, he is the cornerstone of the Q continuum, in my opinion.
Can I ask a question then? In that case,
Please.
What is the difference between Q and
Yes.
Gazoo from the Flintstones?
No difference.
Okay, just wondering.
I'm with you.
I think
on
the
that.
Q episodes are better.
And I like the Great Gazoo episodes of the Flintstones. Like,
Oh,
are
actually,
you saying, do you
I
not
didn't
like
finish.
the Great Gazoo?
In the
I don't.
Flintstones world, sure, it was okay, but I thought it was jumping the shark. Even as a
was.
kid, I knew it was jumping the shark, and you could tell the ratings were sinking when they do that. It was a Cousin Oliver syndrome.
And I understand the argument that you're presenting, and I would only say that at the very least, they introduced Q in the first episode. He was going to be a constant. It wasn't like a, let's spice up Star Trek by having a magic man. He was there.
It was
at
there
the
from
beginning.
the beginning. And
Yeah.
I think it
Well, he
made
seemed more serious in
Encounter-
that first episode, didn't he? And I mean, he ended up being more like a jokester later on.
Right. I think he was great in
Oh.
Encounter at Farpoint. He made that episode a lot better.
I wouldn't say that he was more of a joke. There is an episode where he is stripped of his omniscient powers.
That
Right,
is
but isn't he
that
there
is
pretty
one of my
much-
favorites.
Omnipotent, not omniscient. I'm
Right, but
sorry.
one
Talk
of-
about all this later.
Yeah, no, anyway, so Q.
Yeah. Well, I was going
We
to
should have a
finish-
Q episode, Jill. We should all get together and just talk about Q. But this is Trelane. He is a squire. Retired, sir.
And actually, from the book, I didn't finish earlier I was mentioning about while Kirk and company would encounter a few quasi-omnipotent entities down the road, there were none with Trelane's childlike enthusiasm for making mischief on a cosmic scale. That is until Star Trek The Next Generation. Fans of both shows have wondered for decades, was Trelane a Q? Is the Q that made Picard's life miserable a grown-up version of Trelane? Gene Roddenberry never answered either question, but he was reportedly amused by the notion. As writers and producers are known to draw water occasionally from the same creative well, it is possibly worth considering, if only for the fun of it. And that's the end of that, because it is very fun to consider it.
It is for the fun of it.
And Darius says, I agree with Scotty. It's one thing to not know stuff, but ignorance is not wanting to learn more or change your mind, ignoring the truth, the possibility of knowledge. And Dalek would like to join the panel, so I will send him a link.
Oh, no,
Dalek,
not him.
Dalek, I don't have to ask him if he's seen the episode.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Dalek
I love
has
Dalek.
seen it.
I was just being rude.
I know that Dalek
has
saw.
tea time soon, doesn't he?
Right, he does. So I better send the link soon.
Oh no, there's a. Oh, that sounds.
There's a what?
There's a tray.
A recorder. Is that a recorder?
Yeah, that's a recorder. My son has a recorder.
Oh my
That's
stars!
fine.
Can he play anything good?
No. Well, I don't know.
What?
So
You
that
shouldn't
makes
say
sense.
that so
That makes
quickly.
sense. So he's about that age where he's taking music in school, and they always bring around the recorders. Yeah.
But I think the problem is that his little sister got the recorder. But no, okay.
There's
I
a
need
red
a moment.
alert. Yeah, that's a red alert if I've ever heard.
So
one.
I sent Dalek the link. Please, I will take care of this.
Jill,
I'll be right back.
Right, go. I need to send her.
I wanted to go back to one of your original questions. What was so good about what did Star Trek do right? And Andrea Kindred was, I think, the executive assistant to Gene Kuhn on the original show. And I recently got to interview her, and she said something that I think was so important. Someone asked her, what was the best thing about Star Trek? And she said, it was entertaining. So it allowed a huge number of people in to listen to new ideas and concepts. I wish some shows remembered the entertaining part. Yeah. You do need to welcome people in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Who was that?
That was Nana Visitor.
Oh, okay.
She played Major Kira on Deep Space Nine, and she was describing.
Oh, that explains why I don't know. I do recognize the guy in the middle, but yeah, okay.
That was yeah. Anyway, I threw something up because I thought we needed something from the recorder.
Oh no, that's totally fine.
Oh, do you want to hear another? Well, I don't know. Pop culture. What are you thinking about this episode? Like, where is it on your spectrum of Star Treks?
I enjoy it. I've seen worse. I've seen better.
All right.
I think the highlight is Wayne Campbell's performance.
Absolutely.
And
what else has he been on?
Well, at the time he was doing a lot of guest appearances like westerns and things like that. So mostly television. But I think the reason why, I think also, I mean, the writer says the influence of this episode was war. But I also think a lot of the influence was based on who was very popular at the time was Liberace.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. No, the costuming is very, it looks like it was hinted.
It looks like,
by.
and he actually physically resembles Liberace. He could have played him in a movie.
Could have. Hey, Dalek.
Hail, Dalek.
Welcome, Dalek.
Yeah.
And
wait, no, I'm gonna do something. What do we got?
So aside from the kidnapping and imprisonment, Trelane does play an incredibly polite host in his madness.
Wait.
So, what did you want to say to Dalek?
I wanted to say this to Dalek.
Yeah.
I don't need your fantasy women.
Was that what you wanted to say? Stop.
Yes.
Thanks.
And
Also, William
Trelane-
Campbell was a very close friend with Gene Roddenberry.
Really?
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, in fact, right, they would play pool at Roddenberry's house with James Doohan.
No way. That's
It's
pretty sweet.
pronounced doing.
Okay, well, that works too.
All right. I didn't mean to yell. That was rude. I'm sorry.
It's fine. And Trelane wants to learn about how humans play at war now. So he wants an update. And Kirk tells him our missions are peaceful, not for conquest. When we do battle, it is only because we have no choice. And I was going to say that Kirk's answer doesn't fall in line with Trelane's research, so he dismisses it. But actually, it doesn't fall in line with the game that Trelane is playing to have fun, because this. So he dismisses Kirk's answer that humans are peaceful, except when required to use force. So Desal is eager to put Trelane out, but tells him to put his phaser on stun.
What's wrong?
I literally just got in and I already have to leave.
Oh no!
Oh no! Don't.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Well, so do I. I'll be right back.
Oh my stars! So you know what? I appreciate the fact that we are back to Lieutenant Desal.
I think the USS Bill is under attack.
It sounds like there are, is Jill being swatted by children?
Well, she'll have plenty of time with that during the holidays, right?
Well, I don't know. Hang on a second.
According to William Campbell, Gene L. Kuhn pushed for his casting as Trelane, as he had seen him in other projects and thought Campbell would make a great English fop, F-O-P, and would be nice in a and would be nice in comedic sinister role.
A fop.
However, casting director Jovis,
a wet sandwich.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me.
However, casting director Joseph D'Agosta had doubts about the abilities to
I got it. I got
Campbell
it.
had to read for the part, which
What is the definition of fop?
A foolish or silly person.
Sure. Yeah, but no, I don't think that encapsulates the definition of
or a man
fop.
who is devoted to or vain about his. He's devoted to or vain about his appearance.
No, that's not a fop either.
Okay.
That explains why he spent so much time in front of the mirror staring at himself.
Maybe you like this one better. Fop became a pejorative term for a man excessively concerned about his appearance.
That's a fop.
Clothes in the 17th century.
Maybe I'm confusing fop and schlub.
Schlub is different.
It is. And I think I'm confusing. Well, no, the thing is, and I appreciate I'm combining. I thought fop was a person who put themselves together and they were very vain about their appearance, but they failed. I thought a fop was someone who cared so much about their appearance, but they still don't look good.
Well, it says it's a pejorative term, so yes, you're correct.
Okay. All right. Then thank you. Mm-hmm. Anyway, here's Lieutenant Desal.
Yeah, Lieutenant Desal is trying to shoot Trelane, but I don't know. You really like Desal here, but he tries to shoot him when Trelane is looking at the mirror. It doesn't really seem that smart.
What, like shooting him in the back?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because Trelane's looking at the mirror, so he sees Desal coming up on him.
Well, I'm not saying Desal's going to get a command someday, is what I'm saying. He's probably going to get no birth class, maybe a Miranda. But, no, I enjoy his gumption. I think he's going for it. He's in the paint.
He is. He doesn't just stand around doing nothing.
Exactly.
So that's true. He tries.
He's better than, Yeoman or whatever, Lieutenant Leslie? Mr. Leslie.
I don't remember anything about them except they existed. So I agree.
Trelane, come on, Jill. You got to pay attention to the little people on the Enterprise. Someday you get a Chief O'Brien. Lieutenant Kyle was in Star Trek too.
Mm-hmm. So Trelane examines the phaser and destroys the salt monster and something else, whatever this was.
And the bird creature. A bird creature.
Oh, hey, is that the bird creature from the cage?
Yes.
Or a different bird?
It was very briefly... From the one from the cage, barely briefly seen.
Neat. I didn't even notice that. Then Trelane
And
explains
Trelane's
how
description of how he created their environment, transforming matter to energy.
Oh, were you finished?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just saying Trelane's description of how he created
just
their
reading.
environment, transforming matter to energy and back to different matter, seems to be a precursor to the holodeck tech used in the later series.
Holodeck. You know, that's interesting. You say the holodeck. The whole time I was thinking replicator.
Same thing, though.
So he says, we, meaning I and others, have to state the matter briefly. A perfected system by which matter can be transferred to energy and back to matter again. And Kirk says it's like the transporter, and Trelane says it's more sophisticated. We not only transport matter from place to place, but we can alter it, shape, and will. And this whole exchange reminds me of the replicators, which do exactly that, except not with the wave of the hand, but by input instructions by computer. And so I agree. Yeah, holodeck works too. That's great correlation.
Well, and I have to, like, this is the second time I've seen this in the last 12 hours, and this is very Ardra.
Tell me more.
Devil's Due, Star Trek's Next
Ardra,
Generation
yes,
season.
I remember that.
And
yes,
so,
agreed.
But again, until the reveal at the end of the episode, you don't know that Trelane is but a boy.
Yes.
But this is very much, you could do all of this with technology if you wanted to. And it could have been, like, this could have been another Harry Mudd. But it's not. It's not Harry Mudd.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't care about acquiring wealth. He just wants to learn stuff.
He just wants to play.
He just wants to play and learn.
It's not
play. He wants to play. He has no friends, apparently. I think he's lonely.
He's lonely, like Charlie X was.
You know, all these powers, and I guess he has all these powers, but I guess he can't create a friend.
Why can't I play with these lower life forms?
Yeah, you need to treat your pets more nicely. Hello to Snortopupus Cuber. He's in the chat. And Trelane is polite until Kirk begins to press that he needs to get back to his ship. Trelane doesn't like the attitude and makes Kirk vanish into the natural atmosphere of the planet. Kirk begins to choke from the fumes and everyone can hear his pain. Although they can't see him until Trelane brings him back. He's hoping this will scare Kirk into obeying, but of course not. And then we get a captain's log.
There are a lot of coffee cups in this episode.
Yes. Oh, speaking of which, I still have some coffee here.
Yay! It's cold.
It is, but it's still good. Stardate 2125.6.
Jill, would you like some coffee?
Yes.
I demand it. I demand it.
What's interesting about this episode also is her refers to Space Fleet Command.
That's right.
Even though the name Starfleet and Starfleet Command originated episodes earlier than this, so I guess
I remember
maybe the writers didn't quite have it down
They
yet.
just didn't get the memo.
When did we hear Starfleet? They haven't said Starfleet yet.
Yeah, they have.
When?
I agree with pop culture.
Court Martial and the Menagerie Part 1 and 2.
They say Space Fleet and Court Martial. They don't see. They do. Okay, you know what? Correct me. I could be wrong. I'm not.
You are wrong.
I'm not. Okay.
As far as I know, I think
I'm
this is
sorry.
the first.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
I could be wrong, but I think this is the first time I've heard Space Fleet Command.
This is the first time I've heard it. That stood out to me too, pop culture. And you're right. They do say Starfleet and Court Martial.
Okay, my mistake.
And that's great. And so there's a captain's log here. Stardate 2125.7. Science Officer Spock reporting for Captain Kirk. We have completed 14th orbit of this planet without establishing contact with our missing officers or the parties sent to find them. Subspace communications remain blocked. However, by diverting impulse power to our sensors, we have made them operable. And we have detected one small area on the surface, which seems relatively stable. And of course, that's where everybody's hanging out. Then we have a wonderful scene between Spock and Scotty, with Spock being practical and Scotty being matter of fact.
Yep.
And Scotty's trying to figure out how an area as habitable as Earth exists on such a wreck of a planet. And it's really great dialogue. So,
well, and
I wanted to mention that I was.
Sorry, please go ahead.
Well, I'll make it fast. In this book, Inside Star Trek, that I read from at least 2 or 3 different people who said that James Doohan was very friendly, very attentive. He always knew his lines, was never late. They said he was a true gentleman.
I believe that.
And even with all the
He was
turmoil and
Canadian.
arguments and things, even the turmoil and all the arguments and disagreements and everything went on around the series, apparently he got along well with everyone.
He was able to avoid the drama. That's really wonderful.
Yes.
That's always good when there's somebody like that
Well,
that can ground everyone with their good nature.
Right. When you think about it, he lived through D-Day, so I'm sure this was all nothing compared to that, right?
Well, sure. His life was saved by smoking because he had a lighter in his pocket or some kind of cigarette.
It was a cigarette
holder.
case.
You know what it is? A cigarette case. You're right.
Yep.
But he did lose a finger.
Right.
Yes, he did.
From friendly fire.
But I really enjoy this interaction between Scotty and Spock. In fact, whenever Scotty and Spock get to sort of interact, I'm very happy. And the reason I am is because of Star Trek 3. When I watch Star Trek 3 and I'm like, are these guys even friends? When I watch the original series, it's like, yeah, they are.
They are, and they speak to each other with such respect and knowledge, and they do have great interaction.
Spock respects Scotty's logic.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But and you know what? He's very human. Like, if I have to put myself in the position of Spock, I'm going to be like, you know what? This guy and I'm paraphrasing here. That guy knows what he's doing. He knows how to fix it mathematically. He has an incredible mind. He is incredibly human. Oh my God, so human. Oh my Surak. He is the most human person I've ever met in my entire life. But he's cool.
Mm-hmm.
If I need an engineering problem solved,
I'm going to Scotty. Absolutely.
I'm going to
the
Scotty.
Miracle worker.
Yes. He calls himself a miracle worker. I understand that he is boasting, but you know what?
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. And that's what Spock thinks. That's what this one scene says to me.
No, but do remember that Jimmy Doohan mentioned at a convention that he had a Winnebago, a motorhome that he would drive across country with his wife. And there was a couple times he broke down on the side of the road and was asking for help. And people would pull up and say, "My God, you're Scott. You can't fix that." But he had to remind them, "No, I'm just an actor."
That's right. He just plays an engineer.
Right, he just played the engineer.
Lots of real engineers, like Mark D with the C is a real engineer. He
absolutely
works on cars and he knows how to fix lots of stuff. And he is.
I think, and Berta Frey said he inspired him as well.
Right.
Do you like Jimmy Doohan with the mustache or without?
I like him without.
I like him without the mustache.
But he can do what he wants.
He can't. Well, not anymore.
Yeah, well, his options are limited at this point. I'll put it that way.
Yes, but he's in space.
Oh, don't worry about that.
I'm not.
Don't.
I'm so not.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just throw your phone across the room?
And
no, I placed it across the table.
Placed it.
Quite.
And Son of a Red Shirt, I have heard of that movie. I'm working on getting it now.
I like Darius Munchausen's description of what a fop is, referring to Trelane is a fancy pants 18th century gent with a frock coat and powdered wig.
I agree.
Oh, and there was a note about that. William Campbell was very adamant on what kind of wig he would wear.
And was there a problem with the wig? Because
apparently he wasn't happy with it. Give me a second. I'm looking for it now.
And
What am I gonna
Darius
do?
says, "Oh,
What am
what are
I
you
gonna
gonna
do
do?"
with? What am I gonna do with Fop? I'm a Dapper Dan, man.
Well, Darius says the dandy was the cool new 19th century style that replaced the fop by simplifying the suit and eschewing the powdered wigs and makeup, which is more like Trelane. He's a lot cooler than a fop, I'd say. He's more of a dandy.
Which we do.
I like it.
Right,
Thank
we
you,
will
Darius.
see that later in the courtroom scene. William Campbell's first wig was a French hairpiece. He demanded that an English barrister's wig be found to fit his character. William Shatner complained that precious production time is going to be wasted for something he found to be a minor and unimportant detail. Director Don McDougall didn't want a conflict with the series star, so he called producer Gene L. Kuhn to the set to arbitrate the matter. Kuhn decided in favor of Campbell. It was until the English wig was found.
Well, that's great that they took the actor's suggestion into account.
Right, over the star, yes.
And Captain Finity's here. Hey, Captain Finity. It says he stayed up all night.
Ooh, you need some sleep, sir.
Yeah, you need some sleep. But I'm glad you're here. And Snortpoopus says Scotty was always a favorite character of mine. Hush, Scotty. I meant the one on the TV show. Which he stepped away for a moment, so he missed that. So Jaeger notices the log in the fireplace. It looks right, but it doesn't give off any heat. And that's when Kirk realizes that Trelane is not all-knowing, that he has limitations and can make mistakes. But Kirk now has enough information. He has enough of an idea of how to get back to his ship. You know, he's had enough. He wants to go back to his ship. That's all I mean. But Trelane is bored and he wants to keep playing. So,
of course.
Yeah. So he actually does a good job of seeming just mischievous and curious instead of, more of the petulant child we see at the end of the episode. So it's a great contrast between how he's trying to behave now versus how he really is when he's being himself with his parents.
True, I totally agree.
So great acting. And
apparently a globe of Earth, right? So he would have a globe of Earth in his
stead. Right, a globe of Earth as of the knowledge of the 19th century.
Yes.
At least, or before. So Kirk mentions that there are women serving aboard the Enterprise, so now Trelane's goal is to meet one. While he's deciding what to do, Spock takes up the opportunity to beam the landing party back up by beaming all of the life forms. So that's the conversation Spock had with Scotty, is that we're just going to beam all the life forms up and see what happens, because that's really our only option. Is either that or do nothing.
Yes, that's true.
So that's Spock's logic, and so
Which
that's how.
Hey, they're not going to say that. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so that works. They get back on the ship briefly, and Trelane is not happy about it. And so Kirk's like, "Let's get out of here."
This is funny, right? Let's just Kirk leave before he finds out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hurry up.
Sorry to hear, Dalek. Our hearts are with Dalek.
Oh, Dalek. Oh, I'm so sorry. Dalek is feeling a bit emotional right now. My mom just showed me a picture of some flowers she went and put on my grandmother's grave today. It would have been her 92nd birthday today. Sorry, Dalek. We were all thinking.
That's a somber thing, yes.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
You know what's interesting too is Captain Kirk says that Trelane needs to be near that mirror to get his powers, but here he's not.
Right, here he's not near the mirror, so that does indicate some normal powers that he has. Maybe he doesn't have the power of matter energy conversion, but he can still transport himself around. He can still travel. He can still travel.
Right, that's why I was thinking maybe that thing is like an amplifier or an antenna.
Yeah, it takes their powers and
But I could
makes
be
it
wrong.
hones
That's
them in.
obviously not
It-
canon.
It's not, but when an episode is this good, you want to fill in the blanks, and that's part of what I'm
Right.
doing.
Right. Like
Because-
trauma, our brain will fill in the blanks.
Right.
Right.
Well, trauma or it's
Just
an
kidding, as a
episode
joke.
that it fires up your imagination so much that you want to know everything about it. You want to know more. And when an episode
Absolutely.
makes me want to know more about it, then I know it's one of the best. So this one is definitely up there because it makes you want to think
And
about
that
all of
panel
those kind of
up-
things. How does
Right. And the
Trillian
panel
work?
behind him. I'm
Yeah.
glad
Oh,
they
yeah, that's that
intentionally
panel.
shot him standing there. Right. The same panel from last week.
Yeah, the one that Spock was standing at.
Yes.
At the beginning of the
very
episode.
beginning. Yes, at the beginning. Thank you.
Mhm. And so Trelane brings him back to his drawing room. He's just so they didn't get to stay on the Enterprise for very long, and this time they brought Spock and Uhura and Yeoman Ross. So the middle of the room now has dining table, food, and drink, and Desal tries to attack him again. So he goes for him again. And Trelane freezes him. But at the same time that Trelane is freezing him, he's also admiring Desal. He admires his what he calls primitive fury. And I like how Trelane tries to tell them to forget how he scared them all. But the way he puts it, he says, "Yes, of course, I forget that I shouldn't frighten you too much. But I warn you, you can't provoke me again. Come, everyone, let's forget your bad manners. Let's be full of merry talk and sallies of wit. We have victuals to delight the palate and brave company to delight the mind. Come, doctor, do partake. Ah, you've been quite derelict in your social duties, Captain. You haven't introduced me to the charming contingent of your crew." So, of course, he means the ladies that had come from the Enterprise, Uhura and Yeoman Ross. And this is the part of the episode where he calls her.
Ross. Yes, that's correct.
This is the part of the episode where Trelane calls Uhura a Nubian prize, and there's something in the book about this.
Yes, he keeps making a mistake on that. Yes, go ahead, Jill.
Nubian.
Mhm.
Right, he keeps calling her something else. I'll let Jill.
Well, I don't know
I'll
if
let Jill
that's
fill it in
here.
the thing.
Let's see.
Well, no,
I'll let
they
you
say
read first.
Nubian. It's a Star
Actually,
Wars: The Phantom Menace.
Actually, that mistake is not in my book. You can describe that. Go ahead, and then I'll read from the book.
He kept saying Nubian slave accidentally. He accidentally kept saying Nubian slave.
And he had to be
And
corrected
being
for
that
that.
Nichelle Nichols was right, and Nichelle Nichols was an activist at the time, she said, "If you do that again, I'll kick you in the ankle."
As she should.
As she should.
So, the book says Star Trek regularly conveyed messages decrying racial prejudice and included sharp dialogue pointing out the inappropriate thinking of unenlightened species. As often as not, Uhura was the character utilized to put others in their place. For example, when Trelane approaches the two women he's transported from the Enterprise, he refers to Uhura as a Nubian prize, assuming she is a possession belonging to Kirk. In contrast, Trelane likens the blonde yeoman, Teresa Ross, to fair Helen of Troy, calling her visage the face that launched 1,000 ships. Kirk quickly points out that Trelane's prejudice reveals an immature, unbalanced mind.
I have a little detail about that, if I can.
Oh, sure.
Trelane's words on meeting Yeoman Ross: "Is this the face that launched 1,000 ships and burnt the topless towers of Ilum? Fair Helen, make me immortal with a kiss." Or a slight misquote from Christopher Marlowe's 7th century play Dr. Faustus.
Very cool. A subtler and more amusing reference to race quickly slips past the ear in this episode. The naked time. Oh yeah, the naked time. I love this quote. During his swashbuckling, delusional state, Sulu puts his arm around Uhura and tells her, "I'll protect you, fair maiden." Pushing him away, she responds, "Sorry, neither." And so I love that. And
Yep.
anyway, they go on with some other
She don't
examples
need
that
no
we'll
man.
get to later. Well, you know, especially not one who's
She is neither fair
drunk.
nor in need of rescuing. I believe that
Right.
quote is in reference to.
Yes.
Well, she's neither fair
Very independent, right?
or
She can take care
maiden.
of herself.
Well, meaning
Well, in
she's
visage.
also that she's not a maiden, meaning she's had sex also.
What?
Well, that's what maiden means. Is a virgin.
Ooh, yeah, she's not a. Ooh, well, yeah.
I never thought about it that way until now. Thanks, Jill.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Wow. I always thought about that, and that's why I love that quote.
Anyway,
then-
Lieutenant DeSalle is being held back by Hikaru. And there's Yeoman Ross and Lieutenant Uhura.
Yeah, so we just talked about their parts here.
Their parts?
Yeah.
Their lines.
Well, no,
Which
those
lines.
parts.
Right.
Well, what Trelane calls them, you know, then
Right. He accidentally called.
Wow.
Yeah, you missed it, Scotty. But
I'm sorry. I was
William
away.
Campbell. No, that's okay. William Campbell, when he was saying his lines to her, he actually called her a Nubian slave.
Well, oh heavens!
Mhm.
Technically, Yeoman
And she said if you
Ross
do that
is
again,
a
I'll kick you in the-
Caucasian slave.
Well, slave doesn't necessarily mean black people either. It's just that's what it's come to mean lately.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, and he even buys the Caucasian slave a new dress.
Right. Well, there's been slaves of many races over the centuries, but now, unfortunately, it only means one thing. People seem to focus on.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be a participant in our robot overlords.
the Snurpoopus Cuber says Yeoman Teresa Ross is rocking a bit of a Janice Rand hairdo. Apparently, Beehive
Snortopopus.
were Starfleet issue for a time.
That's not a beehive. Almost, but not quite.
No, that's a beehive, but it's not a Janice Rand beehive. Let's be fair. Retired, sir.
And this is my favorite part of the episode. This is my favorite line that Spock delivers here. And it is...
I object to intellect without discipline. I object. I object. I object.
He's not hearing any of it.
I object to power without constructive purpose.
Oh.
Who's not here?
Amused.
Oh.
Oh, right. Exactly.
Can you do that again? Do both of those again.
I object to intellect without discipline. I object. I object to power without constructive purpose.
Oh. That's the first thing that comes to my mind is, why are we even friends? And then the second thing is, that's amazing. Like, that sums up my view of power. Like, I'm an irresponsible individual. No one will disagree. But this is an appeal to authority from Spock. This is one of the most logical things that I've ever seen come from Spock when he's confronted with such lack of logic.
Right. Totally irrational.
Yeah. So I love this. This is what I believe Vulcan logic is.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with it completely. It's amazing.
Yeah. Totes.
Yeah, he should have tried nerve pinch on him, or a neck pinch, right?
I don't know. He'd probably...
Yeah, exactly, because Trelane doesn't register as a life form that they know of. So, I mean, but you're right. He should have. He could have tried, but I don't know what kind of consequences that would have been from trying that.
Tried.
I also like in that clip
how Trelane wouldn't have known that he was trying to hurt him. But if Spock would have tried, he could have done it under the guise like he did in City on the Edge of Forever, where he says, "I think there's something on your shoulder. Let me get that."
Yeah,
And
but he
Trelane
was
wouldn't know
against
the
the
difference.
human. He was
It's
against
true.
the human in the City of the Edge.
No, but what I'm saying, my point is, what I'm saying is, if he did
Sir.
that and the pinch failed, Trelane wouldn't know the difference. Trelane would say, oh, "Okay, thank you." Or
That's
something
fair
along those
enough.
lines.
I agree. That's a good point.
You know what? I don't like it when people try. Remember in Star Trek 3 when Dr. McCoy tries the Vulcan nerve pinch and it doesn't work and he's like all confused because it doesn't work? I don't like it when the Vulcan nerve pinch does not work. Like that's your power move.
Well, it doesn't. It always works with Nimoy, right? With
I don't know.
Spock,
You know what? I'd have to.
He's on a horse. He's on a whale. I mean, everything.
You know what? I'm going to try and edit together a supercut of every Vulcan nerve pinch.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
I know.
We need to get a cut with two. We need to get a cut with two Vulcans trying to outpinch each other.
Oh no! Then crabs.
Because I think Data does one, doesn't he?
Data does one.
Oh man, that's terrible. Does Sarah?
No, he's an android. He's allowed to.
No, it's bad. Anyway, I have a different opinion.
He doesn't have the
telepathy.
No. I agree with you, Pop Culture,
because
he doesn't have. He's strong enough. Data's strong enough, but he doesn't have the telepathy that's required.
Oh,
or the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's an android doesn't mean he has the knowledge.
Is it the telepathy that requires you?
I don't know. I think it's something that Nimoy said that isn't exactly canon, but Nimoy said it, so it feels canon to me.
Well, if Nimoy said it, it's canon.
I think what they've said in the series is that it's Spock's knowledge of the anatomy of the human body, and he knows certain pressure points that most people don't.
Yeah, exactly. And so, if that's all it is, then Data can do it. Anyway, a lot of people disagree with me that Data can't.
Well, my question is, did Sarek ever do it that you guys know of, Spock's dad?
I don't recall him. I don't recall him doing it, although I haven't watched all of Discovery, and he was in that.
No, I'm not talking about that, so never mind. No, I was just talking about Real Trek, but thanks.
Just
and here's Uhura's even excited that she's actually playing.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
but I don't know how to play. And what does Q do? Makes it so she can play it.
Q. And
sorry, Trelane. This is Kirk being very jealous.
No, actually, Kirk has a lot of great. He does some great acting, not talking, just with his expressions. This whole episode, you know that he just wants to protect his ship and everything, and he does a really good job.
Sounds like someone's got a Shatner crush.
For this episode, for some reason, it works.
Shatner's doing it for you in this one.
Just for this episode. Yeah,
okay. No, but this is the first time you've actually expressed. It was like, wow, he's handsome.
And then we learned something. Then McCoy finds out that none of the food or drink has any taste. And this is one of those times when Spock finds something only interesting, not fascinating. And he has another great line here. He says that his food has no taste, his wine no flavor. No, it simply means that Trelane knows all of Earth's forms, but none of its substance.
Right. He's only observed it from a distance.
Yeah, and that gives Kirk the idea that there must be some kind of machine helping him, and he guesses that it's the mirror because Trelane is always around the mirror, but then that means it could be the harpsichord too, but mirror makes more sense. And
knowing the appearance but no substance, that reminds me of Tex-Mex compared to Mexican food.
Agreed. And Trelane decides to dress Yeoman Ross into a dress with feathers in her hair. I don't think that sound effect happens when this does it. Or maybe
no. Yeah, I don't think it actually happens in this particular scene. I'm referring to how attractive the lady is.
Gotcha.
This episode does have great costume
and really great lines from Spock. But yeah, great costumes too. About the machine, he says, a machine with the ability to turn energy into matter guided by thought waves. It would have a very complex memory bank and would be extremely sophisticated. Kirk's plan to possibly get rid of the machine and its source is to deliberately antagonize Trelane and then challenge him to a duel. And this excites Trelane. It's a new game to play, and he has just the right toys to play the game. He's got a pair of dueling pistols, just like the kind that slew Alexander Hamilton.
Have you guys ever seen the musical?
No.
All right.
But I did watch my university professor act out this duel in class. The duel between Alexander Hamilton.
Oh, not between Kirk and Trelane.
No, not between Kirk and Trelane.
That would have been way cooler.
No, the one with Aaron Burr. But yeah, no. We have a captain's log. Stardate 2126.1. Delayed report. The whole bridge crew are the unwilling guests of the creature who calls himself Trelane. We are weaponless, powerless, and our only hope of escape with the Enterprise lies in playing his games. I've decided to make my move with the Field of Honor game, and everything depends on my one chance with the ancient dueling pistol. And Trelane insists that he shoot first. And, he's just playing on the playground with his best friend, so he doesn't really want to kill his playmate, so he shoots at the ceiling. And I think I got a shot of him shooting at the ceiling. Yeah, there, right there.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Leaving Kirk to shoot at Trelane, and that's exactly what Trelane wants, but that's not what he gets. Instead, Kirk shoots at the mirror, damaging...
So that leads... well, I'm just thinking that if he was inviting Kirk to shoot him, does that mean that he knew the bullet would not hurt him?
Yes.
Yes.
Precisely.
Right.
That's exactly right. Mm-hmm. Oh, and Admiral Teague says that Trelane thinks of her... Whoa. Well, okay, but this was the actor making the mistake. But Trelane thinks of her as a slave because he's only seen as far back as at about the time of Napoleon.
That's agreed. I could agree with that.
And Stormpoopus says, I want one of those uniform coats like Trelane is wearing.
No.
It's kind of like Doomcock's.
Where are you going to wear it?
I am. But without the fluffy part.
No, the frills make the coat.
Right, without the fluffy
part. Yeah. Doomcock
Hail Nemesis of Eden.
Hello to Nemesis of Eden.
Ahoy, Nemesis Enforcer.
Right, and Doomcock's, I think Doomcock's is red, right? Is that correct?
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it's red with gold braid. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Silver and gold. Anyway, so the mirror blows up.
Data has those magic vibrating fingers.
He's fully functional, yo.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. And Admiral T continues, it makes sense that Data can do the Vulcan nerve pinch. We only see him do it after he meets Spock. Picard mind melded with Sarek, so he might be able to do it too. And
you know what? I do think that Picard does the Vulcan nerve pinch, which is weird, and I don't like that.
I don't either.
He did when?
Because he shouldn't be strong enough.
Exactly. Like, and that's the difference with the Vulcan nerve pinch. Like, if you tell me that you have to have sort of the touch-based telepathic power of a Vulcan to do the Vulcan nerve pinch, I believe it. Mm-hmm. But if you say that you're strong enough to, like, you just have to pinch hard enough, you just have to be a very strong person to pinch the right part, then I'm just like, well, that seems weird.
And I agree with Admiral T. Kirk isn't jealous. He decided to play Trelane's game.
And I never knew telepathy was part of the nerve pinch.
But I believe it, don't you?
I believe it because Leonard Nimoy said it, but it's not it's not in an episode. It's not part of the 735 canon.
Nope.
Leonard Nimoy said that the nerve pinch was part of telepathy, or telepathy was involved?
Something like that. Some kind of energy that Vulcans can project, like Subcommander Tall says here. He
Which I
prefers the idea.
totally believe, based on the fact that they can do the mind meld. Like, it all works. It makes sense.
So, like, maybe like a suggestion to the person: sleep.
Yeah, but also you have to be strong enough as a Vulcan to actually, like, you know, boop, like you got. And when I say boop, I'm doing the Vulcan, like I'm doing my hand gestures right now. I feel like I should turn on my camera, but no, you squeeze hard enough, but also you. I don't know if it's a telepathic suggestion more as it is just sort of like, I don't know. It's just, it's Vulcan finger touch combined with strength and telepathy.
Well, you think that if it took massive strength, that the person would be extremely sore after, wouldn't you?
Well,
painful,
I don't think it
seems like.
Yeah, it would be painful. I don't think it's going to be a good time if you get the Vulcan nerve pinch.
But you're asleep, so you're okay.
Yeah, but forcefully so. Like, it's not a good time. You're hurt. Like, you're gonna have to roll out your shoulders for a while.
Yeah, we've seen different people react differently throughout the episodes.
True.
And it was the way that William
some
Shatner
are in pain,
acted.
some act like they grimace.
And it was William Shatner's
Right, especially
first
the way William Shatner acted, right?
Yeah, because William Shatner reacted the way he did, that's how the nerve pinch became a thing. Because
and that's how it looked painful in that scene, right?
Because he played along with what Nimoy was doing really well. Dalek 451, I think I agree with you. Trelane is not exactly a king. Even if he is, I'd say he's a lesser evolved version.
Yeah, and I just realized I made a mistake. Yeah, and I made a mistake. I'm sorry. He did not nerve pinch a whale. It's like
No, he mind
melded.
He mind melded with the whale.
I just thought about that. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I made a mistake. I spoke wrong. Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
That would have been funny.
Get out.
Hail lemon pie.
That would have been funny. I was trying to think of that, but I wanted to continue with my...
Let's block Pulp Culture Curator.
And then my show's over. I don't have a show anymore.
Oh, no. It's fine. I'm being rude.
I know. Dalek says, as in species, his species doesn't have the full power of the Q yet.
Well, Trelane is like 10.
Yeah, and he's hovering near the mirror because he's a narcissist, says Snorboopus.
And yeah, so am I.
And no, this is exactly what I thought of when I hear that quote. Except it's not even in the form of New Trek isn't even in the form of Star Trek. But it says all the forms but none of the substance. Yes.
Except for Star Trek Beyond.
Disagree.
That's not my problem.
I know. Subcommander Tall says this set was designed by Matt Jeffries. He was most proud of it. Actually, I think I have something about that from the book.
Very cool.
Something about Star Trek Beyond?
No, something about Matt Jeffries.
Oh, yay! I love his tubes.
It says some production design drawings consist of a series of abstract lines and are meant to provide a general idea of what the writers have in mind. Others are detailed and shaded to the point that they become minor works of art, suitable for framing. So that was this. I had this earlier. I had this up earlier.
So you think that art that you showed, Jill, was that Matt Jeffries' drawing? Is that Matt Jeffries' drawing? Oh, very cool. Yeah, I guess there's his name probably there on the bottom left-hand corner.
No, it says exterior Trelane Manor, Trek
18.
This beautiful Matt Jeffries design for the entrance to Trelane's Manor was recreated on stage with exquisite attention to detail. That's
why. Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, they did a great job.
They did. Oh no! I got to the beginning of the slideshow. I got to find where it was.
Did you send this shot to me. Did you send this photo to me?
Not yet, but I will.
You have to. This is the best ever.
I'm glad you like it.
I love it.
So instead, Kirk shoots the mirror, damaging the proto-replicator, holodeck, whatever.
It's a magnifier.
Yeah.
It's a Q power magnifier.
That also. He dismisses his guests back to the Enterprise. And landing party makes it back to the ship.
Again.
And so Kirk tries. It's so fun, though.
It is.
Kirk tries to head for Colony Beta 6, but instead we're treated to an amazing roller coaster ride, which you understand if you watch the episode.
Well, they make it clear that the planet is following them, right? So he's moving that entire planet. Is that correct?
Was it the? I thought that the Enterprise was getting away and pulling the Enterprise, and the planet. I thought the planet was pulling it back.
Yeah,
let me see.
Yeah, that's a good question.
They show the planet cut right in front of the Enterprise, right in front of its path a couple times. At least with the new special effects they did.
I was under the impression that it was Trelane manipulating the ship.
Yes, me too.
Could be.
So this is the part.
Someone should like, if I don't know how to edit and I don't know how to special effects, but this is the part of the episode where if you have any editing ability, this is where you put the original NCC 1701 in front of the Q grid from Encounter at Farpoint. This is no, you must come back. I want to play.
Right.
This is Trelane being Q at his most Q.
But Ross wants to get out of the dress, so she does.
That dress does look good. You know where it would look better? Crumpled up on my bedroom floor. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, I do. I realized I walked into that one.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. You left the door wide open.
I did. But, okay, so the way it's described here is that the planet swims back onto the view screen. So they're getting away from the planet, but then it comes back. Hard to believe what happened. They're at warp, so they went to warp. But then they're going to go into a collision course with the planet. So it doesn't say exactly if the planet comes to the ship or the ship is pulled back to the planet. But I thought it was that the planet was pulled, that the ship was pulled, rather.
Gotcha.
That's my guess. Does it say precisely? I'm looking.
Damn it, you'll stick with it. Yeah, that's my final answer, and I stick to it.
But I'm not 100. Actually, not really. I'm not 100% sure. That's why I'm looking at the script. Otherwise, I would stick with it.
That's fine. It's all good.
Oh, Sulu said turn. Okay, so yeah, the ship is going to the planet because Sulu says turn completed and still accelerating toward the planet. But Spock says, or it toward us. So they're not sure either.
Like, you've seen this episode before, right?
Yeah, I don't remember the dialogue perfectly. I don't have a photographic memory like you do, Scotty. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize.
So that's why I don't know, because the script doesn't know either.
Well, think about this: when the ship kept getting pulled back, or the planet kept coming back, Kirk had said fire photon torpedoes to see what would happen. Right?
That's it. That's an interesting idea.
Hey,
that would
Cisco
solve that
did
issue.
Right, that would solve that issue.
You know what? Let's just nuke the entire site from orbit.
Just to be sure.
Just to be sure. It's the only way.
Well, he did, even though he acts like a child, he is putting their life at risk and the mission at risk.
He is.
He is. Absolutely. No, but this is also, he's not a villain. He's an antagonist. He's a speed bump.
Yeah, right. He's not exactly evil or anything. He's just trying to play and have fun, and that's putting everybody's lives in danger, like you're saying.
And he's putting Kirk on trial because he wants to find out whether or not, oh, you think you're smarter than me, do you? Well, I'll be the judge of that. Here, here. Order
Yes.
in my court.
Yes, and he's got a wig.
And he has a wig, but that's a barrister, a judge's wig. Like, he's playing the part. He's been doing that the entire time. Retired, sir.
And Kirk is being threatened with the noose of being executed here.
Hey, Japerf.
But Kirk doesn't want to play his games anymore. This is where I really love the way Kirk acts here. The way he stands up for his ship. He's there. He's there for the 400 people he protects.
Yeah, I thought it was odd that that image on the right, to the right of the noose.
Until you are dead.
Yeah, that wall.
Dead.
That wall, you could tell somebody painted on it. Painted something on the wall and then removed it.
Now you're right. I do see silhouettes of little axes and
It's
a shield.
a ghost.
Right. The shield that was hanging inside Trelane's room or whatever house.
You're very observant.
It looks like Santa.
And I wanted to if I speak about this line. Trelane's line to Kirk that he would hang until you are dead, 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 are the words spoken by a judge to sentence Henry McCarty, better known as Billy the Kid. McCarty replied, and you go to hell, hell, hell.
Oh, wow. I can't wait until we watch Spectre of the Gun. Spectre of the Gun? Yes. Oh, no. Anyway, so Trelane's all, you are a savage child race, and you will not be permitted for your trek through the stars.
Okay, you're quoting Q again.
I am, and I'm doing it on purpose.
I see. He says, oh, the absurdity of these inferior beings, reading from the charge sheet. And now, Captain James Kirk, you stand accused of the high crime of treason against a superior authority, conspiracy, and attempt to foment insurrection. And of course, Kirk is, I haven't come to plead in your court, Trelane.
Yeah. Yeah. You watch, okay, here is my challenge to any Star Trek fan, is you watch this episode and then watch the first episode of Star Trek The Next Generation and tell me who is cooler. The argument about Kirk versus Picard, and exactly this moment right here, and he's like, fine, I accept your judgment, but it doesn't mean that I'm wrong. Yeah. Kirk is so this is the moment where Captain Kirk becomes Captain Kirk in my mind.
Yeah.
When he is confronted with absolute chaos, and he's
it seems like he's gonna lose.
Yeah, and he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose.
But he doesn't
he's
stop.
He does no. Jill, do you want to tell this story? This is incredible. This is the first time that that Kirk said, what does God need with a starship?
Yeah, and
it's beautiful.
He's self-sacrificial. He says, focus your anger just on me. Let my ship go. And I think that's wonderful.
This is amazing. I love it when starship captains go against the absolute unknown. And when Kirk goes against Trelane, an absolute unknown, I'm just like, wow, dude. I don't know if I would be, in your position, I think I would be more of a Lieutenant Dessau than a Captain Kirk.
We're living beings, not playthings for your amusement.
Bingo. He's standing up for humanity.
He is. Then we have another captain's log. First Officer Spock reporting, still no word from Captain Kirk on the surface below. Waiting time is almost up. I will soon be forced to attempt departure as per instructions. And this is the part where we realize that Trelane was just playing along. He was really all the anger when he's saying he's dead. Really, he was just playing at being angry. He said, "Until a moment ago, I didn't think it was possible. I did it. I was angry. I actually experienced genuine rage. This experiment has been successful." And so that's when Kirk realizes that he can
antagonize,
manipulate Trelane into playing a different game. And so he suggests a different game, a hunting game.
Well, yeah, he, like Kirk says, you can hang me now, or we can, you can chase me and kill me. And then,
yeah. Where's the
I'm
sport?
guessing.
Yeah, more sport.
I'm guessing this was filmed in the exact same room where they filmed Trelane's interior of his house. They just took the props out.
You think
that makes sense?
They just redressed it.
Yeah, they redressed it.
That's a good conclusion. I like it.
That's why we saw the silhouette of the sword on the wall, the shield.
Yeah. And
you know what? Looking at this picture, it just makes me want to grow sideburns.
I'll take Kirk's sideburns. I feel like a fool, but I had my sideburns like that for many years.
But dude, I can't even grow Trelane sideburns, and those are the ones that I want, just to be able to have the option.
They were big in the 70s. That's the Elvis sideburns.
Yeah, I would love to have Elvis sideburns for like 4 days. Oh, anyway. And they sword fight.
In a very small area.
In a very, like this is on a set.
Yeah.
I would have
liked. He does it for the Enterprise.
I would have liked. I think that they should have put the money from Shore Leave into this episode, because I think that this would have benefited from being outside. This is better.
A lot of the episodes would.
Or
a lot of the episodes would benefit from being shot outside, but it's more. It's just more expensive to have to move everything. The production.
I know. It's just a preference of mine. I'm
right,
sort of griping.
Right, and like I mentioned earlier, anybody who has seen Mission Impossible, they were hopping all over from location to location in every single episode. So it's a shame.
Right, at one point, Kirk takes an opportunity to get Trelane's sword off of him, but when he sword, I've always had a problem with the word sword.
It's fine. No, I find it adorable. And I want to hug your pronunciation of the word sword.
That is, by the way, that tree is an obvious prop. And when Kirk swings from it, I'm pretty sure that out of frame, there was probably somebody on the other side counterbalancing the weight.
But, yeah. Well.
Oh, no, they have the recorder.
They do. But they're not playing it live. So he takes a swing at his foe, and he just disappears and reappears again. And Trelane says, "Well, I've never played this game before," but he, of course, gets his sword back. And Kirk fences Trelane with the branch, but it breaks, and he has to run off, leaving Trelane laughing. And Kirk cannot get back inside the building, and so Trelane traps him in an iron grid.
Okay,
you
wait.
made a noble fight of it, Captain.
This is the worst special effect in the history of Star Trek. Go back one. When Trelane makes the cage in the original special effects, awful. It looks terrible. Now, I would like you to pay attention to the right side of your screen, where it's all like black and weird. Anyway, it just gets worse. This is the worst thing to happen to special effects in the history of special effects.
Well, it's because they had to. They would say freeze, and he would have to hold position, and they would bring the prop in, and then action, freeze, bring the next prop in, that sort of thing.
And
was
I'm
never
just
quite
saying,
down
it
to
looks bad.
perfect, yeah.
It looks bad. And even in the remastered edition, it looks bad.
Mhm.
Anyway, Kirk's in a cage.
Yes, and Trelane says, I win, so you should surrender. And of course, Kirk's not going to do that.
Hey, where's Lieutenant Desau?
He's on the Enterprise. Everybody else is on
On the
Enterprise.
Enterprise.
Okay.
Right.
Go ho, Captain.
And Kirk says, you haven't won anything. And
Is this where he slaps him?
well, this is where Trelane orders him on his knees that you've been beaten. No, he says you've been beaten, but Kirk says, but I'm not defeated.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring
Oh
up
my
a point
God.
here. I wanted to bring up a point. According to an interview with William Campbell in The World of Star Trek, in his fight with William Shatner in the forest, he fell down and dislocated his shoulder. Fortunately, fortunately, as he flung his arm up in his instinctive reaction to the excruciating pain, the shoulder popped back into its socket.
Nice.
Due
Wow.
to Campbell's injury, the episode finished shooting going one day over schedule, resulting in 7 filming days. Campbell can be seen favoring the injured shoulder, holding the arm limp. And that is true.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Go ahead.
I can't even tell from the performance. That doesn't come
Yeah.
across that he's hurt himself and fixed it.
Agree.
Well, in Gilligan's Island, Alan Hale Jr., the skipper, falls out of a tree and breaks his, I believe, wrist. And he continues filming the whole season without telling anybody.
What?
That
I
wasn't
mean, the
the
whole
season's
episode would make sense, but after the episode's over, you think hey, let's.
I'm going to check.
medic.
Right, I'm going to check. It was either the episode or the season. I don't know why I'm thinking the season, but yeah, he didn't even tell anybody, and he just continued playing the part.
Wow.
And the famous scene where the honeymooners with Jackie Gleason, he broke his leg on stage, on camera. It was live. There's nothing they could do, and he crawled off, still acting, crawled off stage.
Wow, that's like when someone's on a cooking show and they chop their finger and they keep cooking.
I like to see that.
So then Kirk breaks his sword. You broke it. You broke my sword.
You broke it. You broke my sword.
You've got a lot to learn about winning, Trelane.
You got a lot to learn about everything, don't you?
And that's where Kirk slaps him.
The ultimate insult.
It's not fair. I beat him. My beard hurts.
And then we get his mother and father. Finally, they show up. 2 green flashing lights appear. And
now, Trelane, you must come inside. You have to stop playing with your toys.
You said I could have this planet.
Yes, but you are being mean.
You always stop me when I'm having fun.
It's time to come in, Trelane.
But I don't want to come in, and I won't. I'm a general, and I won't listen to you.
Yes, but it's time to come in.
But why? I didn't do anything wrong. I was just playing.
Trelane, it's time.
Oh, red alert, red alert.
Oh, that
this
wasn't
is
fair.
the most meta thing.
It's time,
that has ever
Jill.
happened.
It's time.
Anyway, I gotta find a thing. What do we got? Here's this.
Scotty,
that's cute.
I can't change the laws of physics.
There we go. It's fine.
No,
wait.
only Jennifer, what's her face, can do that.
Oh, but wait, I have a better thing. Hang on. Where are you? Here it is.
What?
Yeah.
Jill got some.
Absolutely smashing.
But I haven't finished studying my predators yet.
It's time to come in, Trelane. Captain, we are so very sorry for the inconvenience that our son put you through. Please go on your way.
It's funny how they say in instead of come home.
Well, no, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know what I'm doing.
No, they do say come in, because I was thinking about it. It's like parents yelling out the back door to the kids.
You're doing perfect. I mean, of course, you're paraphrasing, but you're paraphrasing in such a way that I can read
Play.
Trelane's lines.
Anyway, Dalek, welcome back to the presentation.
Hi.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Yeah, welcome back. But we're almost through the episode, so I just want to get through it. And
hey, Dalek, cigarette or joint?
What?
And
neither.
I have a quick,
come on! I gotta smoke something.
I have a quick note here. The voice of Trelane's parents were provided by Barbara Babcock, who played several other guest characters in TOS, and Bart LaRue.
Whichever one's the less damaging one, Scotty.
Oh, then I'm gonna smoke a joint. But no, Barbara Babcock was in Taste of Armageddon and also in my stars. What is the one with Alexander? You know, the little guy. Oh, Plato's Stepchildren.
Oh, you're talking about where the chess piece?
Yes.
Yeah, Plato's Stepchildren.
So that's where Barbara
voiced by her and right. She voiced the mother, and Bart LaRue voiced the father. In real life, was one of Jimmy Doohan's best friends and the best man at Doohan's 94 wedding.
Doing.
And he also plays the Guardian of Forever.
Yes, same voice.
Oh, you know what? I'm inspired. I'm gonna get business cards, and it's gonna say Scotty R37, Guardian of Forever.
So you're saying it's pronounced Doohan? Is that's what you've heard?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So the parents say, "You must forgive our child. The fault is ours for indulging him too much. He will be punished. We would not have let him intercept you had we realized your vulnerability. Please forgive us, Captain. We will maintain your life support conditions while you return to your ship."
Yeah.
And they vanish, and Kirk goes back.
It's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't wanna. Anyway.
But I would have won. And so
I woulda.
So Sulu
I woulda.
Warping down, Captain. Oh, so they go to warp factor 4? Is that the fastest they've been so far?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Let's get the shit out of here, bud.
Yeah. No.
I don't even
do
know.
like Captain Kirk in this episode.
Like, can you even believe it? All right. So, Captain's log. We just went to a planet with an omnipotent being that could do anything it wanted. So I had to shoot a mirror. And so anyway, I left as quickly as possible.
And that's what Spock Muse is about. For the record, how do we describe him? Pure mentality, force of intellect, embodied energy, super being. He must be classified, sir. And Kirk says, God of War, Mr. Spock. And Spock doesn't find that fitting, so Kirk says, then a small boy, a very naughty one at that.
Bingo.
And once again, Spock leaps confused. He's like, huh?
There's the confused look.
Okay. Enough said, I guess.
Well, actually, this look
Right.
is because Kirk is comparing it to how he would play pranks when he was a young boy. Haven't you played pranks, Spock? No.
Well, and this is something that I just didn't really understand in terms of the end, because there's no context. He's like Kirk says, it's like dipping a little girl's pigtails into inkwells. And it's like, that has no bearing on anything that we've just experienced, sir. Thank you.
Well, it's mischief by a young child on the level that a human child can
But I always
have mischief.
But I always thought that dipping little girls' curls into inkwells was a form of flirting for, like, I thought it was more teasing.
Yeah.
Than it was a prank or a, like, I don't know.
Well,
it just didn't seem applicable.
Yeah, it is. Trelane was dancing with the Yeoman Ross.
Oh, so now you're on Yeoman Ross's.
So my guess is so I'm
helps
guessing
me.
Spock as a little kid. If you were playing with Spock as a little kid, he's not the one who pulls pranks, but he's the snitch. It would be classified, I guess, right?
Well, I'm pretty sure that Spock has quite a few stitches. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
Excellent. And we made it to the end.
We did. We made it to the end.
I'm going to
Hey.
watch it again. I'm going to watch the episode again.
Absolutely.
I love this episode. I think that this is a solid B plus.
Mhm.
I think that it is the founding of the Q continuum. I don't care what anyone else says. It's silly. It's lovely. It makes me feel warm joy.
I give it an A minus.
Hey, B plus and A minus are pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I love this episode for being a combination of possible inspiration for the Q from Gene Roddenberry and for introducing us to the concept of matter replicator, or like pop culture said, a holodeck way before the Next Generation. And I love the idea of Trelane being an extremely advanced, non-corporeal being with fantastic technological advances.
You're non-corporeal.
But still being terribly imperfect and capable of making grand mistakes as he does. Actually, it's true. It's one thing to be extremely intelligent and yet another to actually experience any of the things that you're talking about outside of the novel or reference material that you're drawing it from. And it's such a fun concept for an alien species, and I'm so glad that it was brought to TNG in the form of Q. And so even though the Q claimed to be all-knowing and all-powerful, several times Q shows that not to be the case, with his intense curiosity for humanity, showing that there's something he doesn't know, and his lack of understanding of the reality of that humanity until the episode that you were talking about earlier, until one day he's sentenced to be a corporeal life form, and he chooses to be human. And that is a cool episode.
Yeah.
I don't really buy that the Q are as magical as they want you to believe. I think they did found their powers more like Trelane's species on the back of invention and scientific discovery, but maybe at some point those two merged.
Hang on. Allow me to cough. I think that the Q and the Q continuum are sort of a warning. I can't believe I got you guys to not say anything for like 3 seconds. Anyway,
well, I wanted to hear what the warning was.
The warning is, what if you could do anything? And I think that Trelane is an excellent signpost of what if you could do anything? And you would be a child.
Yes, absolute power
corrupts.
Absolutely. Or
I object to power without constructive purpose.
Oh. Exactly. And that has been one of the like cornerstones of Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at the Prime Directive. Just because we have space travel and warp drive and transporters, we can't show up and say, I am the Archangel Gabriel. Behold me.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay, Jill.
But that's my thoughts of the episode, and I'll play this clip though for Pop Culture Curator because it's.
Oh, I hope it's the one I want.
Yeah, it is.
I would never live in the 24th century. I fucking hate the Next Generation. Only the original series, only classic.
I love you, Pop. All right.
Yeah, that's officially his clip.
Okay.
And so, Pop Culture, what are your final thoughts on this episode?
I would give it an A. I love it. And I think the best part of it is William Campbell's performance. You could tell he had a blast. You know, you hear about actors chewing scenery, and that's pretty much what he did. And it's it's interesting how. That's why I'm. When I was a kid, I thought, okay, he's a magic, but then the mechanical device is what keeps throwing me off. So I've never
It's a
quite understood if he
magnifier.
really needs that. Then I don't know how strong his power is without it, because he still. I know
He's
he
a
does
kid.
tricks. He still does a few magic tricks or whatever after the machine is destroyed.
Right, he's
So
both.
he's both, yet neither, possibly. But either way, I give it an A. I love it.
I do
Of
too.
course, I'm partial and biased to
A
the show,
minus.
but yeah, A minus, that works. How about you?
And you give it an A.
I give
Really
it
cool.
an A.
Dalek, did you watch this episode recently? Do you have an opinion on it or an grading?
I did watch it probably a few weeks ago, or at least a couple of months, or maybe a couple of months ago, when I was trying to when I was actually trying to watch all of the original series of Star Trek, and I got through all the first season. I think I got like a third of the way through season 2. So I have seen it, and honestly, I'd probably give this episode maybe a B plus.
Yay!
It's great.
I'm with you, man.
But I completely I disagree on the whole thing with Trey. He's not a Q.
He is a Q. Get off my lawn. Can we boot this guy?
Actually, I agree with Dalek that he's more of a proto.
Get him off this panel. He's a Q.
Not completely evolved form of Q. That's how I view it. Like one with less powers.
I'm ashamed to be a part of this.
And this is what we've been talking about the entire episode. From the very beginning of this episode, it was brought up, and it was brought up multiple times during this live stream. Cardinalson, what do you think about the idea that Trelane is part of the Q continuum? Scotty thinks yes, and I kind of agree a bit more with Dalek that he's like
Jill, I am unfriending you. I am blocking you on Twitter.
No. I mean, honestly, I think it's reasonable to think to assume that he's not a Q, and if he is, he's on he and his species, they're on the way to being the Q, maybe.
Yes, agreed.
It's 100 years before a blink of an eye. I can't understand how anyone doesn't.
You gotta remember.
Trelane is a Q. Like, it's a true story.
The Q exists outside of time. Time means nothing to them. So for all we know, by their time scale, the evolution from what Trelane is into what the Q are, it could have taken billions of years.
I agree with you, Dalek, that it would take much longer to develop that kind of power, or not just 100.
I would love to see the Q interact with the prophets.
Oh no, that would be interesting.
Yeah, they live in the past, present, future all at once.
Same as the Q.
Well, who's to say they're not two different species?
They live inside the wormhole near Bajor.
Yeah,
how do we know How do we know they're not two separate species and their powers seem similar?
Oh no, they are. They are two different species.
That's what I think.
Yeah, no, the Q continuum and the prophets, or the wormhole aliens. I don't know. Do they have a name, or is it just
that's
the
what
prophets?
they call them. The prophets. The prophet aliens is what I call them. I combine the two.
I prefer the prophets.
They're referred to as just the wormhole aliens by the Federation. The Bajorans call them the prophets.
And the Klingons call them a pain in the butt.
Well, wait, no, the Dominion also.
Cardassians. Sorry, I said Klingons. I meant to say Cardassians.
The Cardassians, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. Yeah, the Cardassians.
Whatever, I misspoke. Fuck off.
Well, whatever. The Gamma Quadrant aliens.
Oh my God. Have you ever, my favorite Bajoran is Lita.
Lita. At the convention, she sang the entire time at Quark's bar. She did a bunch of shows singing.
She's my favorite Bajoran.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I give this episode. I know that I voted in the poll that I gave it like a B plus, and I already said I gave it a B plus.
You
but
did.
Now talking to you guys about it and having so much fun with it, I'm gonna give it like an A, not a minus, not a plus, but like it is such a fun time to be able to hang out with everyone in the chat and in the panel, like just to be able to talk about Star Trek. And this is a really fun episode of Star Trek. And I elevate it because of the friends that I get to talk about Star Trek with.
Speaking of friends we get to talk about Star Trek with, Gorilla's Random Thoughts usually likes to show up if he can, but he's at work.
It's an F.
And he gives it an F. Because Trelane doesn't follow through with his threat of gallows. Well, that's because he doesn't really want to kill his playmates, but his playmates. You know, he wants to play with Captain
I guess he'll
Kirk.
run out of playmates. Right, he'll run out of playmates pretty quickly if he kills them, I guess.
Right. Well, you know, he's going to accidentally kill Kirk, and it's just like, oh, I didn't mean to kill my pet. I want another one. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Another.
Crota says, I like this episode. I gave it a B-ish. Very good.
A B-ish?
B-ish.
Everyone should show up on the Fantasmagorium on Boxing Day, where I'll be doing a full review of B Movie starring Jerry Seinfeld.
Kronos says, what a spoiled cube rat. Oh, Kronos is here. Hey.
Hey, Kronos.
Hey, Kronos. Good to see you.
Sorry, says, Cardassians are Kardashians. One is a repulsive reptilian species, and the others are just aliens from Deep Space Nine.
That's pretty accurate.
That's a great joke. I love it. JPR PH1 gives it a solid A, and Cronus makes his own grading system.
Nice.
And he says, hey, Cronus. JD Lewis says B+. A flawed but highly entertaining episode. I'm still fighting a bug, so I'm taking a cat nap now. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Trelane to you.
Mm-hmm. And I guess we can look at the poll to see how our poll went.
Yes, let's dance on the poll, Jill.
It went really well, the poll. Let's check it out.
Really? Let's do it. Let's swing on the poll.
Mm-hmm. So let's share
the
poll.
Your
here.
poll. Yes. I'm going to make it sound as dirty as possible.
You're succeeding.
Yay. Anyway, here's the poll.
Yeah. So I'm going to end it now just because if I don't end it now, I'm going to forget later.
Yeah, good call.
Because I always do. I just always
So
forget.
everyone, like the majority of democracy, has decided that this episode is an A.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yes, and I agree. 59% give it an A, 40% give it a B. And yeah, agreed.
You know, the poll kind of looks like testicles in an erection.
And I don't see that.
Dalek does.
No, because you pointed it out.
I know, but I'm just saying, when you look at it.
Okay. Kronos says, I don't wanna.
Makes sense. You have an erection on your sharing screen right now.
I don't see it, so I don't.
You don't
care.
see the erection? I can see
no.
There's a ball sack and everything.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop sharing your screen.
Why not?
Because I'm getting a boner.
You get a boner from seeing another one.
Well,
Okay.
oh my stars. Am I a homosexual, Jill?
I don't know. That's up to you. It's totally
Well, it
fine if
is.
you are.
You know what? From what I understand.
Cronus says, my father
I
and
see-
his parents are from
I
Hungary.
see the boners everywhere.
And Cronus says, it continues to quote Trelane, it's not fair.
It's not fair.
Well, okay, yeah, I do it without the accent.
Well, no, but the thing is, and the beautiful part about this entire performance is William Campbell is so dramatic and so, like, his intonations, his accents. It's just chef's kiss.
I agree.
I give it an A+. Can I give it an A++? What's better
Wow.
than A?
Why is the score? The score keeps getting higher and higher.
It
Well,
keeps getting better. The more I think about this episode, the
Well,
more I
here's-
love it.
Here's my scoring system. If you want to give it more than 100% and you give it an extra plus, that's 5 extra points. So
Okay.
every time you add a plus, it's 5 more points.
Okay. Well, let's just call it an A+.
All
That'll
right.
be square.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's your
The
first.
more I think
Is that
about
your
it.
first A plus?
I
Your second?
think-
I
no,
think it's
no,
your
no.
second. Your second one.
It is my
because of
second.
Balance of Terror. You really
Yes.
like Paul Schneider.
Who's
I do
Paul
too.
Snyder?
That guy
I
who
love
wrote this
Lieutenant
episode.
DeSalle.
Well, the guy who wrote this episode.
Same guy who wrote Balance of Terror.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Lieutenant Styles. Big ups to Lieutenant DeSalle.
And Cardinal Sin says that he's lost in space over the top.
Hey,
Trelane, about
Cardinal.
Trelane. Yeah, Cardinal Sin's here. And Trelane, or however you spell your name, was also a Klingon. So he plays a Klingon later.
Yeah, Koloff.
Koloff. In Deep Space Nine.
And in the original series, in The Trouble with Tribbles.
And so he, oh, right.
Star,
Yeah, I actually don't know what he's apologizing for. You're
Star Trek
apologizing?
Star Trek really had a habit of recycling actors, if you really think about it, didn't they?
Yes.
I love that though. That's so much fun. And Chrono
It's part of
says,
the reason. It's part of the reason why Star Trek kind of feels like family.
why do you sound like a medication? What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh, does he mean my name? I don't know. I don't know. Kronos, if you want to elaborate, I have no idea what you're asking.
Like in
Like-
Christmas Story, an A+++++++++.
Yeah, every plus is 5 points to me.
Yeah.
Star Trek upcycles actors. This says Darius. And Kronos says pill, Jill. Okay, so that's what he means.
That's not what I said.
Anti-derivative pill.
That's not what I said. Is it Darius? I did say recycles. Or
You did.
was that just you? Or was that just him saying that?
No, you said recycle, and Darius says upcycle.
Right.
So they don't-
Absolutely smashing.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
Did you guys like? Have you ever been to Pop Culture Curator's channel on Wednesdays?
On Wednesdays to see Gilligan's Island.
Those poor people.
What
You
was
just wanted
that?
somebody to... Galaxy Quest.
Oh.
Scotty just wanted me to say Gilligan's Island so that he can play that clip.
Well, you know what? I just enjoy.
You know, I really wish they'd let us play music up here. Make these long trips go by a lot faster.
It's against regulations.
Yeah, I never understood that.
They just don't want us having a dance party when a proximity alert goes off.
See, that's a dumb reason. Because we'd already be on our feet, ready for action.
Gordon does have a point there.
It's true.
Now, I apologize. Like, Jill did give me the opportunity to play with all of her
I did. Don't apologize. Keep
her video
it
clips.
Keep it
And
up.
so I do that. But like, and at least, you know what? I usually pick the ones that are short. So like, because there's a 2-minute clip that I want to play right now. Jill,
Which one's that?
You can turn it off, right?
Yeah, I can turn it off.
Okay, well, I'm going to play it for as long as you want.
Okay. And I have to cut it off because
that wasn't very long.
I know, but there's copyright claims. I have to cut it off. Sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I get
Are
claims
you
on that.
monetized? I didn't know.
No, I'm not monetized, but I want to be someday.
Someday.
Someday. One day, maybe. In the far, far future. Far-flung future of 2027.
Well, you need a better co-host, is what I'm saying.
Or, I don't know. No. I don't want a better...
You don't want a better co-host. You know what? I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that as a compliment.
Please do.
I will. Anyway, what do we? Come on, let's chat.
Well, I have
Teague.
Okay, right. Okay. So I was going to go back and read some chats that I missed, but there's so many new chats that are going on too, like you're saying, because of Cronus.
There are a lot of people here. Like people are enjoying our banter.
Mm-hmm. And so,
your mouse is very authoritative.
I just click loudly.
Are you an aggressive clicker?
I'm an aggressive clicker. I'm an aggressive writer. If you saw me writing, you'd say, "Why are you pressing so hard against that paper?"
Why are you angry at your keyboard?
Why are you angry at that piece of paper with that pen? I'm just like that.
Okay, fair enough. I enjoy authoritativeness.
And Krona says, "What does hugging the donkey mean?"
Well, so first things first. You know what? I'll send a diagram.
Well, it's from the Orville. It's a maneuver by the Orville ship that it's some kind of maneuver that the Orville does to get around one of the krill ships. And
is it a Gordon?
It's a Gordon move, yes.
Yeah, nice. Hugging the donkey makes sense.
Right. Scotty has permissions to play with all of those and knobs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hugging the donkey. Yeah, we saw the Orville.
Never heard of that. That's from the Orville. Oh,
yeah.
I must have forgotten that.
Yeah. Okay. So here it says, hugging the donkey is an attack maneuver in which a smaller, faster spacecraft rapidly circumnavigates a slower, larger ship while firing upon it. The tactic is known to be very difficult. However, helmsman Gordon Malloy of the USS Orville claims he has run the attack since his days as a cadet. Yeah, well, that's what the Orville Wiki says, and of course, the Orville Wiki could be wrong.
The Orville is not a USS, though.
I think it is a USS. I'm sure I remember from the show. It is.
If I'm mistaken, I'm proud to be correct.
USS Orville. I'm pretty sure of that.
My mistake.
Yeah, USS Orville ECV 197.
I thought it was CSV, and that's what I had in my brain. I'm sorry.
It's both those.
Okay.
So there we go. That's hugging the donkey.
That is hugging the donkey. You know what? That's going to be my new notification sound. Whenever I get a text message, it's going to be your voice saying, "And that's hugging the donkey."
You have too many ringtones.
They're all you, though. It's weird.
No, remember there was one earlier that was going to be Pop Culture Curator when he was saying, what did he say? I forget what it was, though.
It was something about butt stuff, I'm sure.
No.
Anyway.
All right. Hey, I'll be right back. Yeah,
Well,
and
you know,
I agree with Cardinal Sin. There's no better co-host. Scotty, you are an international treasure. And I'll be right back.
The lines be drawn here. This far, no farther.
I have no idea what that was in reference to, but I just wanted to hear a little Patrick Stewart.
It's a goddamn weird ass place we work in, let me tell you.
Got that right, John.
Do you like pop culture and Dalek? Do you guys think there's going to be like do you even have hope for a 4th season of the Orville or an Orville movie? Do you have hope for either of those?
I highly doubt that's going to happen, either of those.
Pop culture?
No, and no, and no. And I don't want it either. After the 3rd season, even if there wasn't a season or movie, there's no way.
So you're just not.
And it's too bad because I went into the 3rd season loving it. I love season 1 and 2, but after what they did in season 3 with their politics and child mutilation, nope, not for me.
Yeah, and I understand where you're coming from.
I think my favorites.
We talked about it.
Yeah, I think my favorite season of the Orville is season 1. Season 2 was a bit. It was fine, but it got a little. What's the word? A couple of the episodes got a little soap opera at times. I was like, nope, don't.
I felt like season 1 of the Orville was more like TOS, then season 2 was more like TNG, and then season 3 was like Star Wars, but different. I don't know.
But I only saw the first 3 episodes of the 3rd season.
I thought season 3 was like an LGBTQ meeting.
Well, no, and if things and you know what? Part of the reason why I've only seen that many episodes of the 3rd season of the Orville is because Jill has been like, be careful.
Watch it anyway. It doesn't matter. I want to talk to you about it. Go watch it.
Yeah, no, but I'm not going to watch it because if you say it gets bad, and I don't want to see.
I already know. But I told you that you're going to like it. You're going to love season 3 of the Orville. You just have to watch it. You're going to like it, even though I didn't like some of it. I could already tell that you
go over to the Fantasmagorium and gift us a.
And I want to argue with you about
membership.
The only episode worth seeing after episode, I think either 2 or 3 is episode 9.
The Phantom
Menace? Domino. Yeah, Domino was really cool. Pizza. That was the that was the episode that should have been earlier in the season to wrap up what happened at the end of that. What happened in season 2 with the whole Kalon War thing. They finally got to that.
No, I think that should have been
no build up really.
I think that should have been the finale, not this full-on overbloated soap opera we got for the last episode.
Yeah, I know, and it was so. I wish
I liked the last episode
Domino,
of the Orville.
because Domino was actually really good compared to the other episodes.
I liked the
liked
wedding.
It. Wait, you watched just the last episode?
Yeah, of course I did.
You know what? And 1,000 people watched my review of just the last episode. It's got the highest views on my Orville reviews.
It took me.
So everybody just wanted to hear about the end.
Let me say this here now. That it took me hours to finish watching the final episode. I got that fed up and bored of it.
Oh, I thought you just kept pausing and masturbating.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it does. That's what I did.
I did keep pausing it, but not for that.
This might be a weird time to read Snortopoops' chat here. I'm an aggressive.
No, go. I you know what, Snortopoops, you can hug me aggressively whenever you want.
And Krona says, thanks. Thank Avis for you all.
Yeah, well. I'm sorry. Every time I hear about Avis, I am so Gordon Malloy, and I'm just like, what? I don't like what other car rental?
Enterprise
is your god. I love it. Avis. Snortopubus. I thought Scotty was an international felon. Well, you know what? We can't talk about the trials that are currently ongoing.
He's both a treasure.
I am.
And
Yeah.
a felon. No, he's not a felon.
Please don't swat me.
Lord Thoth says, "Love me some more, Bill. Sad that it's the only sci-fi show in recent history with replayable clips." Yeah, that's true, and it does at least achieve that of having moments of pure goodness. And even season 3, there's some moments of greatness.
Yeah. Even in the worst episodes, they at least had one or two little moments which were worth seeing, like
Usually,
for example, when in the episode where they had to hide away all the men because of those warrior women who came on board.
But that was Spock's brain.
What? I'm talking about the Orville, not Star Trek.
No, but I'm just saying the same deal, because all the warrior men were on the surface and all the women were underground, but they needed Spock's brain to make the computer work, right?
Yeah. Well, in this case, it was a matriarchal society that didn't respect men. It was an episode.
And you know,
does that mean that attractive women will come at me and be like, I wanna? Anyway, yes.
Yes, that's what happens in the episode.
If you go back on my channel, I hated that episode so much. I actually did. When I went live on my own, I did my own rant on it on my own channel.
Delightful.
I wonder what episode that was.
Oh, pardon me.
But there was one moment. There was one moment in it. That was definitely worth seeing, and I'm Jill. You know which moment I'm talking about.
What?
What moment?
Yaphet's line.
Yeah.
Oh, this is such bullshit.
Yes, that exactly.
Who is Yaphet?
Yaphet.
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 Oh, right, Yaphet.
Yaphet. Well, I do have one clip
played by
I would love a Yaphet.
What's his name? That guy died. Norman McDonald.
Norman McDonald. Yes.
Yeah, I thought these things were supposed to be ragers.
That's Yaphet.
You know what? One of my favorite things about the character of Yaphet, and I'm not going to go all crazy about Norm MacDonald, but I really liked how Captain Mercer tripped over Yaphet and he was like, "I'm sorry," and he's like, "No, it's good, it's good." Like, that is one of my favorite character interactions in the history of television.
It just shows how. Well, I guess that just shows how. Just how laid back Yaphet was.
Yeah. Well, and also, it's like you see Yaphet. Is Yaphet a boy or a girl?
Definitely. That's a good question, actually.
Yeah.
It's a boy. Even the doctor referred to it as he.
Well, Claire fucked him.
Okay.
She did, yes.
Yeah. Let's not be coy about this.
She did, but she was drunk at the time.
Who cares? She was consensual.
Or she was high or something.
She was consensual. Anyway,
I gotta run and take care of my dogs. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.
Well, now that we're talking about slime having sex with women, I understand your exit, sir. It's been a pleasure talking to you as always. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Jill, when you hear this, please confirm when you get a chance. I think next week there'll be no Trek, and then the following week we'll be picking it back up again on January 2nd and 3rd, I believe. I think second for TAS and maybe third for TOS, if that's correct. Let me know.
Yes, that's right. Yes, we'll pick Star Trek back up next week. Not next week, sorry. Next year. Next year.
Right. Well, yeah,
So
right.
in 2 weeks.
A week after next, which will be next year.
Yeah, so
Right. Sorry
in a
about that.
couple
Yes.
weeks. Definitely. Yeah,
And
so the
I want to say
second
thank
will
you,
come back.
everybody in the chat. It was great. It was fun.
But oh yeah, thank you. Yes, and so this is the point where I wanted to allow somebody to go if you guys needed to go.
I need to go.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you. You all have a
And-
wonderful day and a
wait,
Merry Christmas.
And you promoted your channel too, right? I missed that part.
Pop Culture Curator has a channel.
No, it's okay. But
No, he's got a channel.
you all
He's
have a
almost
Merry
at 100.
Christmas.
Wait
I
a
want
minute.
to say
You're
hello.
4 subscribers away from 100. So everybody who hasn't yet, please go subscribe to Pop Culture Curator. Get him
I
to
should
100.
subscribe.
And he can have so that during the holidays where we're not talking about Star Trek, he can have a live stream celebrating 100. He can have 100 subscriber celebration. So let's make that happen. That'll be a fun party.
And when I
Welcome.
subscribe, I should ring the bell.
Yeah, ring the bell. That's important because
So you get
YouTube-
notifications whenever he's on, which is usually Mondays and Wednesdays, and you get Star Trek the Animated Series and Gilligan's Island. I can't
Exactly.
think of a better time.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
We just had that much fun. Yesterday we talked about an animated series episode that wasn't the best, but it was so much fun to talk about it.
It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So-
well, I
so
want to
thank
say
you.
Merry Christmas and thank you to everybody in the chat and
You're welcome.
Merry Christmas and thank you on the panel as well.
Merry Christmas. I hope to see you
Pop.
around.
See you, Pop.
Likewise,
Merry
I'll be
Christmas.
around.
Will
Take
you
care, guys.
please leave? Yay.
Thank you, Pop Culture. Glad you're here.
Remember in Star Trek the Motion Picture and Captain Kirk is like, pardon me, Admiral Kirk.
Would you please
Would you please
sit
down?
Yeah.
Jill gets it.
It's lovely. That's my favorite scene. Well, second favorite scene.
What's your favorite?
Well, when Spock
Is it the
realized-
hand holding?
Yes.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah. Anyway.
This feeling.
Yeah, this simple. Oh my stars. I'm gonna cry. So anyway.
Right. Let's not
Do we have
cry.
anything else to say? What are we doing? Are we
No,
just
we're
hanging out on
we're
the
just-
internet
we're
right
just
now?
hanging- We're just hanging out. If you gotta go, we can close the show.
I don't have to go anywhere.
Well, we could if you need to.
I could learn how to play the ukulele right now, but I'm not going to.
Well, we have the ukulele. You're just on air. You have a ukulele. You're just gonna get on air and start drumming chords. No, that's
I don't. Well, okay, hang on. I make an offhand comment.
Okay. Snartopoopus Cuber says, I'm not going to make any off-color Yaphet giant multi-headed dildo jokes. Well, that's true that Yaphet can make himself into any shape. With his yeah. So then Admiral Teague says, Bones beamed up against his will is the best moment in TMP, in my honest opinion.
It wasn't against his will. He was just unwilling.
Yeah, he was recalled.
He was drafted.
Lord Thoth says, my favorite is when Paris Kambata comes out.
Persis
of the shower.
Kambata. Yeah. Oh no, Lieutenant Ilea is the hottest bald woman I've ever seen in my entire life.
Absolutely agree, 100% with that.
Yeah, and you know what? All respect to Sigourney Weaver from Alien 3, but she is number 2.
Glad you have a runner-up in that category.
Well, you have to have someone to compare.
Lemon Pie says, no ban on ukulele. Jill's channel. Well, Scotty has one, and I haven't told him to stop. JPRPH1 says, play mandolin instead, which reminds me of the time Worf smashed Geordi's mandolin.
Sorry.
I'm going to smash your ukulele.
I hope so.
Lord Thaw says that exactly, Sir Cuber. You can be the OIC.
We have a guitar solo, ladies and gentlemen. Come on.
Oh my god. You are not Marty McFly. Okay.
No, I'm not. Anyway, I'll put down the ukulele.
Admiral Teague says someone died in that transporter 5 minutes earlier. Oh, I don't know why I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at Scotty playing the ukulele. Now I'm laughing at something terrible.
Do they have mops in the 23rd century?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you mop up all the goo when they when there's a transporter.
I always thought that the ship was self-cleaning, right?
Yeah, but like okay, but and I understand that, and I think that the ship being self-cleaning is that like if you have a tissue and you toss a used tissue, then it either like just self-destructs or it is zapped by a laser from within the ship. Yes?
Possibly. I don't know. Well, I don't ever see this cleaning action take place. So whatever
I've never seen
conjures up.
I've never seen anyone blow their nose on Star Trek.
Right, because you just go I mean, so somebody might have to blow their nose, but they go to Beverly and she cures it in a minute. Or maybe they have shots where you're never going to get a cold. We've cured the common cold. I think that's what it was.
No, but they never did.
No, they never. No, they didn't.
Crusher says that they never cured it.
So they never cured the common cold. Okay, so I didn't remember for sure on that one.
Oh my God, Jill.
So then people should be blowing.
You know what? I'm gonna get a beer. I'm fucking distraught.
I'm sorry, I mixed up my knowledge on that.
Oh my stars!
I don't mean to drive you to drink, Scotty. Please.
But you don't. It's not you. I'll be back in a flash.
Okay. Krona says you don't see any more Deltons in Star Trek after her. Got too many officers. Randy, baby, yeah. And JPRPH1 says, I have 10 ukuleles myself. True story. 10 of them. I believe you. And Cardinal Sin says, now that Disney owns the Orville, well, Fox and Disney as Fox, they can't spend the money on the Orville because it's too expensive. A show. So they're just delaying the cancellation notice.
Well...
And, my prediction about this is that Disney kind of did change what Seth MacFarlane wanted to write, and he didn't exactly get the season that he wanted. And instead of acquiescing to Disney, he's just holding on to it forever.
Well, but okay, so here's my idea. What if the next, like everyone's asking for season 4? What if the next thing that the Orville does is a movie?
That is another possibility. If the Orville is canceled, Seth MacFarlane says that he's going to make movies.
I'm in.
But he's saying the word is that he's saying he wants season 4. Everybody on staff wants season 4. But that's just what they're saying. But what reality is, we don't know because nothing's official. Cardinal Sin says because they know there's going to be a huge backlash.
Backlash about what?
About canceling the Orville. Yeah. So if they say the Orville's canceled, something might happen. I don't know. I don't know if people are going to send in jars of pickles again like they did for season 2, but they're gonna do something.
No, you know what? That was a nice meme, but I think it sort of began and ended with Alara.
And Alara's not there anymore, but she was in the last episode.
Yeah, and it's nice to see her come back. She's like the Tasha Yar of the Orville.
You're right. She's gone but not forgotten. She's on her planet. She can come back. All they have to do is say she's cured of what was ailing her, what was keeping her stuck on her planet, her gravity problem. Can always be. She's still there. Admiral Teague says the remains of Lieutenant Commander Somak were returned to Earth in the failed transport. They are marked and lived for a while.
But what came back didn't live long, fortunately.
And Cronus says Scotty was already drunk. Cut him off.
What? You're not my real mom.
And that I don't even notice that.
Oh no, I am very inebriated. And I appreciate the observation. Thank you, Kronos. But on the other side of that coin, I would like to say, you're not my real mom.
JPRPH1 says, I'd be happy with season 4 of The Orville with 10 bottle episodes. The writing and acting is that good. And I would like a season 4 if they get away from drawing from the past and they go explore some new planets, new ideas, new science fiction concepts, things that have nothing to do with what we've seen before, except for maybe how the relationships between the species have evolved. That can carry on, but I want to see new things.
But you can see new things. Well, Jill, you've been doing a rewatch of The Man from U.N.C.L.E., yes?
I have.
Like, that is an old thing, right?
Yes, it's an old show, but it has lots of Star Trek actors, so it's really fun.
But it's new to you.
It is.
An old British show, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what? I really like.
I think my dad likes that show.
Mm-hmm.
You should check it out. It's a good show.
Well, my favorite character on there is Ilya.
Well, I'm you know what? Go. I am a Napoleon Solo man myself.
But my favorite was in a recent episode. I don't even know what episode it was. I don't even remember.
7.
I didn't even care about the episode. I just like this part where he encounters some guards who have taken.
This is Ilya.
Yeah. He's and they want him to go away, but he says not without my cigarettes and knife, and he takes them out and he gets his cigarettes and his knife, and then he takes them and he says, "They're not your brand." And it's fun. That's all I remember from that episode. But it's like moments.
Like, I'm a smoker, and I don't know why you find that line to be so.
I think it's cute.
Yeah, I don't know why. And I'm a smoker, and like brand or it. Yeah, I don't know why. Anyway, They're not your brand, and it's like I don't understand.
They're not for you.
They're not for you. So, like, I pick up the cigarettes.
They had his cigarettes. He wants them back. I don't understand what's so difficult about it.
No, I just don't think it's a funny joke. But
I like it. I think
yeah,
it's cute.
And that is where we differ.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
But I do, I like.
Look, I'm a doctor, not an escalator. Spock, give me a hand.
I just pressed a button for the sake of it.
They kept that I'm a doctor line going throughout all the series.
It's always fun when someone who's not McCoy says it, and you're like, "Hey, you say the line."
I mean, like the EMH from Voyager. He said that. He said that all the time. I'm a doctor. I'm not whatever.
This is why I really appreciate Star Trek The Next Generation, is that they never, even when they were trying to emulate Dr. McCoy, they never did. Like Dr. Crusher never said, "I'm a doctor, not a whatever." And I think Pulaski may have said it once.
I don't think Crusher ever said it. No.
The Doctor on Voyager definitely said it.
And Bashir said it for sure.
He says it all the time. The Doctor on Voyager.
Well, and also this is why I like Enterprise, is that it like the Doctor on Enterprise being an alien. I thought that was an interesting dynamic, and he never really sort of played upon the characterization of a doctor on a starship. I really I just wanted to say that I adore Dr. Beverly Crusher.
Chrono says Crusher was a horrible, whiny doctor.
Fuck you and the horse you drove in on.
But Phlox rocks.
I couldn't.
Wait, I can't say that out loud. I'm not supposed to be honest. What? Crusher was not a whiny doctor?
I couldn't disagree.
I don't. Yeah,
I say that with squeak in my voice.
I liked Beverly Crusher.
I liked her too. I was just reading the chat for him because
I didn't mean to yell. I'm sorry. I was an emotional human.
Pulaski was a better doctor. Technically, she was a better doctor, but her bedside manner left some to be desired.
Yeah, but if you watch Lower Decks, the doctor who is Cat.
I can't watch very much Lower Decks. I try, but
watch it.
Doesn't work for me.
All right.
But yes, I do know you're talking about the Cation doctor who's on there.
She's very Pulaski.
Cardinal Sin says, Scotty, you should quit smoking while you're young and beautiful.
Oh no.
I agree.
That I'm beautiful and young? You both are misinformed.
I agree you should stop smoking.
Well, you're not my real mom.
I agree too, but Admiral Teague says Pulaski's limited time. Oh wait, go ahead.
What if I announce right now? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Anti-Derivative Jill channel. I would like to announce Anti-Derivative Jill is my real mom.
And you're quitting smoking.
And I will quit smoking at the behest. Dalek 451 is my uncle.
Only. Oh, actually, haven't you been using a vaporizer lately?
I have.
Mm-hmm.
It's out of batteries, so
you have to recharge the battery.
That's like what I heard.
You should have 2 batteries so that one's charging while you're using the other, thing, the other battery. Admiral Teague says Pulaski's limited time improves the other characters. She's female McCoy.
You know what? I really appreciated Dr. Crusher leaving the Enterprise, and then Pulaski was interesting. And I think that Pulaski's best episode is Elementary Dear Data.
I agree. That's where she and Data actually come to an understanding.
Totes. And it's one of the reasons that I'm upset with the returns of Professor Moriarty. Is like when it's a Barclay episode, I get it, but I wish that he had at least mentioned.
Yeah, he was in love with her. He didn't even ask about her.
Why is it that your phone sounds like 1996?
Because that's a default. It's just like a built-in alarm that tells me to do things.
I was just curious if you were a time traveler. That's all.
It's Christmas vacation, so I don't have to do things. So if anybody wants to leave, they can leave and we can shut down the live stream
you know
anytime
what?
you need.
I will follow you to Cleveland.
I'm not going to Cleveland.
Neither am I. But if you were going, I'd meet you there.
Gotcha. And Snortpoopus Cuber says, I told our GM for our second Star Trek RPG that I wanted our EMH to be based on Dr. House. Please
Gregory
state the
House?
nature. Yeah, Gregory House. Please state the nature of your medical emergency. Not that I care.
Hi, everybody. I'll be your doctor this afternoon. I'm high on drugs.
That would be
Yeah, right. That's awesome, House. Go ahead.
The EMH in the form of Dr. House.
That's exciting. I want that.
Based in the form of a grumpy Hugh Laurie. Wow, that would be amazing.
Well, okay. So in remember the movie Superman Returns?
I've only seen Superman.
Well, then never mind.
But no, tell us about it.
Well, in Superman Returns, which was a movie that came out in like, I don't know, the year. And it had Brandon Routh, and the man who played Perry White was Frank Langella, who is a great actor. But the original Perry White in that movie was supposed to be Hugh Laurie, but it was conflicting with House, MD.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So he couldn't do movies because he was busy with this TV show.
Have you ever seen Flight of the Phoenix, the remake? Good show.
No.
Well, then, okay.
Well, what's good about it?
I don't know. Why am I trying to arm wrestle with you?
I want to learn about the stuff that I don't know.
Are we still talking about Star Trek? What is this show
No.
about anymore?
No, this turned into a shore leave about half an hour ago.
Okay.
Or at least an hour ago, actually, probably.
Well, what did you want to talk about? What are you interested in?
I want to read the chat.
Yeah, let's do that. That'll be great.
Yeah, we've diverged a long way from Star Trek at this point.
Mm-hmm. Admiral Teague says 4 weeks nicotine free here. Smoking is for the weak.
I'm weak.
you go for. Oh my god! I didn't mean to do that. JP. Oh wait. Oh, Snortpoopus killed a bot. I thought I accidentally timed somebody out, but Snorty was just killing a bot for me. Thank you, Snortpoopus. Awesome. And Admiral Teague says, EMH House, give me some pills. Or you can Google how to fix yourself. Well, that's what Barkley does in an episode. He looks up how to cure himself. And before WebMD was a thing.
All right.
JPRPH1 says, I got into collecting ukuleles after I got my Mandos.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I have a ukulele.
You do. So does JPRPH1. He has 10 of them.
I only have one.
He has bigger hands, so ukuleles are a bit easier for him. Hey, you have pretty big hands, too.
Mentioning ukuleles and mandolins reminds me of this reminds me of something I saw a while ago. I have this DVD of old Looney Tunes cartoons, and in the bonus features there was this little documentary style little extra which was like where you got to see lots of old lost Warner Brothers shorts, and one of those was this I think it was called this little black and white cartoon which was called Lady Play Your Mandolin. and it was and basically it was a really basically it's this musical little short all with all these really silly characters, animal characters singing this song, "Lady Play Your Mandolin."
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
sounds
quite
cute.
and well, I don't know. Yeah, it sounds cute on the surface, but there's definitely a bit of there's a bit of an adult tone to it because a lot of the animal we see most of the animals we see them in this I guess you could call it a tavern, I guess, and a lot of them are getting drunk. So
in a tavern, heavens,
that follows. Cool.
So, yeah, it's it's not too bad. It's not too, but yeah,
Is it part of a bigger story or is it just like a music video?
It's just I think it's just. I don't think I don't know if there's really a story to it as such. It's just this, except for maybe this.
It's just a big musical number.
It's just a big musical number, and it's really overall really except for the central character, this little character who's like a bit of a Mickey Mouse ripoff called Foxy. I think he's trying to win over this female fox character who is on the stage singing the song, and he's singing along with her, and so, especially the parts where there's part of the song which goes like "Senorita, pleased to meet you. I could eat your heart."
Eating hearts. Fun. Lemon Pie says, Admiral, I do find him to be more interesting than Crusher as well. Oh, he says, Pulaski's limited time improves the other characters. Oh, okay. I did read that one earlier. And Cardinal Sin says, Moriarty was last seen in a super mega hard drive that had several universes worth of exploratory adventures in it. There's no reason for him to come back in Picard season 3. Oh my god, I forgot that's happening. Why would you?
Absolutely smashing.
Not at all smashing. Unless it's smash.
Absolutely smashing.
Okay, thank you, Cardinson.
Absolutely smashing.
I'm going to play it until you calm down.
I'm okay.
Absolutely smashing.
I'm okay.
Absolutely smashing.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay, I'm done.
Absolutely smashing.
Snortopoopus Cuber says, I had to get rid of those hot girls. They were
absolutely smashing.
God, come on.
Okay, I'm done. I'll stop.
They were, the hot girls were melting Snortopoopus's ice, and so that's why he got rid of them.
Absolutely smashing.
Oh, you agree with me? Have you seen that short?
Yeah, I agree with you, Cardinal Sin, that we should mute our phones while we're streaming. But I need my alarms to tell me what to do most of the time.
You guys have
Otherwise,
phones?
I'll keep streaming. The reason why I keep it on is so that I make sure that I do take care of my responsibilities. But it's Christmas vacation, so I should have my phone off at least today. But
Absolutely
most days,
smashing.
I need that alarm. Otherwise, I'm gonna miss the things I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Mandolins are violins strung backwards, says Cardinal Sin.
Delightful.
And so then I want to see this.
Absolutely smashing.
Oh, it's a lute? I thought it was a...
I love lutes. Said no one this century.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. I'm sorry. Oh, we were there.
I
No, we're
know.
not.
I wanted to make sure I
You
had the
are a
sound.
Q. Jill, are you a Q?
No.
Oh, this is the episode where they're the characters from Robin Hood.
Sorry.
He smashes it, then he apologizes.
Of course he does. Worf, you are a rude motherfucker. But
I
you
need that
sexy
clip.
as hell.
Mhm. I love it. I need that for every time you bring your
Ukulele.
ukulele out.
This was a gift from my sister.
Nice.
You're a strange animal.
Ukuleles are strung backwards. And Dave G. Sound says that was stolen from Animal House. Well, it works. It works
was.
perfectly. It was beautiful and
Yeah.
marvelous. Fantastic.
And it's a great
Hilarious.
reference. It's a comedic chef's kiss.
Mm-hmm. So
to
maybe
see Worf bust up Geordi's mandolin makes me laugh every time.
Yeah. Worf must be Canadian. He smashed it and apologized.
No. Worf is just good friends with Geordi. And so he was like, shut up. I'm sorry.
So I think I'm going to read some of the starred chats that I didn't read while we were doing the review because I had to get through the review. But I saw a lot of
when do we go live?
4 hours ago.
Oh, damn.
So I just want to read some of those that I missed out of reading earlier because I was doing the review.
Mm.
And so earlier, Admiral Teague said, I agree that Trelane is a young Q. We see another very young Q in an episode of TNG. Oh, I think I did read that one, but it was a good one.
Well, and Amanda Rogers. Yeah, totes.
And Ervik Sonder says, I have so many TO episodes to still watch, including this one. It's going to be fun watching them all for the first time. That's amazing. That's great that you're going through all of TOS.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the first time.
Yeah.
Jealous. Definitely jealous of that.
Seeing something for the first time is the best. And that's why I'm having so much fun with Pop Culture Curator. And watching all of the animated series stuff because it's the first time I've ever seen it. So,
yeah, and so you're going to see season 2 for the first time now. You've seen all of season 1.
Yeah, I know that season finale was shit.
It was terrible.
It was awful.
It wasn't even Star Trek. I mean,
whatever.
It
was a cartoon.
It
was just a cartoon,
but it didn't really feel like Star Trek, like except for when Kirk saves Spock. That's the only 2
That
seconds.
was really good, though. That was really good.
Yeah,
that's the only redemptive aspect.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, and so then Admiral Teague said earlier at around 2 p.m. Wow, that was 2 hours ago. Paul Bettany is also a LSO in Near Star Trek movie Master and Commander.
Well, and this is the movie that I was saying, Admiral Teague, thank you for bringing it up. Jill, if you go for Master and Commander Far Side of the World, starring, what's his name? Gladiator.
Gladiator? The guy who played...
Russell Crowe.
Maximus.
But Master and Commander of the Far Side of the World is a Star Trek movie. You have to see this.
Master and Commander. Okay. I will see it.
Write it down. Sharpen a pencil.
I'm writing it right now.
Okay, do it. I'm not messing around.
Yeah, this is serious business here.
We're doing fake business.
Fake business. Well, the fake business being me watching all of the movies. And hello to Cinema Gulp. He says, hey, crew, just dropping in, but I'll probably listen to the whole thing later.
I don't even know what we talked about.
I don't know what we talked about either. What did we talk about? Oh, we talked about
the Squire of Gothos.
Yeah, it's right up there at the top of the screen.
Yeah, there you are. You clicked on it because you were intrigued by the title and the thumbnail.
Yeah, Cardinal Sin says, you're drunk. Go to your quarters and sleep it off. Or go to the holodeck and hang around on the bridge of the Enterprise 1701 with Captain Picard.
I'm going to play Xbox and pretend that I'm Mad Max.
So are we? Oh, because you're Scotty. That's why he's saying that. I love that scene. I always cry at that one. So beautiful.
It's a lovely scene that when Scotty just like what was this like NCC 1701. No bloody A, no bloody B, C or D.
Makes me cry every time.
Yeah, me too. I say no. I'm not going to cry this time. I know what's going to happen. I'm okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Never. Here's to you, lads.
And of course.
Yeah, here's to you, lads. Yeah.
Yeah. Where?
I am not a merry man.
You went different for that one. So.
I protest. I am not a merry man.
That was a better reading, dude. That was great.
Thank you, Dalek. That's what I wanted. Well, goading the one crew member into suicide was very un-Star Trek. But aside from that, yeah. Wait, what? What is he talking about? What episode is that? What?
I don't know. 7.
I don't know. Tally ho, says in their royal life form, because we're still here. I'm not playthings for your amusement, says Captain Kirk from the episode. And Darius is catching up at 2x speed. He had to make a few important phone calls, and I imagine I sound like a chipmunk at 2.5 speed.
Yeah, probably. Now that you mention it, I wasn't going to bring it up.
Nerd Pearl Lifeform says, with food not giving it off any taste, fire giving no heat, should the mirror give off no reflection? Interesting points.
Your verbal mathematics.
And yes, we talked all about how whether or not Trelane is a Q. What do you think?
I think he is.
I think he's a proto Q.
He's a kid Q.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right. So a lot when they were digging up dinosaur bones, they thought that they were finding different species of dinosaurs when they found different. They thought they were different species, but really one was the child and one was the adult. So maybe.
If he is a Q, again, if he is a Q, he's not a true Q yet.
But one thing that is in the favor of him being a Q is the fact that these this species can create planets. Just like, yeah, they're not very good planets. They're falling apart, but they're planets.
Wait, hang on. Like, so what kind of planets do they make?
Planets where, the atmosphere is messed up and there's all these volcanoes and earthquakes and
so it's
natural
like
disasters.
The biosphere is somewhat unstable.
And toxic. Mm-hmm.
Is there air? You don't know.
Thank you for giving me enough time to play that clip.
You're welcome.
What was that?
That was oh my stars, Guy Rockefeller, or what's his name?
Guy Rockefeller?
Yeah. This guy.
Oh, Guy Rockefeller from Galaxy Quest. You mean is
there air? You don't know.
The actor, like, it's Rock Ingersoll, isn't it?
Guy Fleegman.
Guy Fleegman, but when he's in Galaxy Quest, the adventure continues or whatever, he is Rock Ingersoll.
He's played by Sam Rockwell, so that's where he got the Rockwell from.
True.
Nice.
Anyway.
I didn't know where that was from. Very good.
Oh my god, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
It's real. JPRPH1 says, odd is a G open string tuning from. Oh, wait. Go ahead, Dalek.
That wasn't Ferris Bueller, was it?
No, that was Justin Long, who was from.
My mistake.
Oh, my.
Yeah, JPRPH1 was trying to tell us what an odd is. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Ode?
An
odd? Ood? An ood. Ood sounds right. Is a G open string tuning, from what I can tell, with 5 double courses of string, although tuning is subjective. And now he wants an oud. The Nerd Portal Lifeform says, "Where are your weapons, Jill? Don't you display your weapons?" Oh yeah, that's what happens when Trelane shows up on the Enterprise and he asks about their weapons.
Oh yeah, true.
He would have loved to learn about the phasers and the everything. Okay, well, I've got to go for a minute. I'll be right back.
Alrighty then.
Read this.
I will, and then I'll just randomly play video clips if everyone's okay with that. But the Nerdporial Lifeform says, did Scotty or Dalek do mischievous pranks as young boys? Dalek?
If I did, I don't remember. I don't really remember it. No, I don't think I did. Not really.
I think I was mischievous, but I don't think that they were pranks. I just think that I was acting inappropriately.
Probably, yeah. Well, I can safely say I definitely did a lot of stupid stuff as a kid, but
of course.
Deliberately pull pranks. I
never had any capers as a kid.
Not as such, no.
No. So anyway, the Nerdporial Lifeform goes on to say, dipping little girls' curls in inkwells, stealing apples from the neighbors' trees, tying cans, forgive. Like, none of those. I never did any of those.
Me neither.
No,
I did still pee.
No, I've never done anything like that. No.
You know what? The worst thing that I did as a child is I was about to lose my first baby tooth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in kindergarten. And I was like, I want this thing out of my head. So there was this girl named Jacqueline, and with a Q. And I was like, I'm going to lose this tooth. Can you just punch me? And she did. And my tooth came out. And I was so happy. And then the teacher came over and said, why did you punch him? And Jacqueline said, he asked me to. And I looked at the teacher and I said, no, I didn't.
You got her in trouble, you. Oh my goodness. But you did something that was helpful for you. Wow.
I threw Jacqueline under the bus.
You did. That's less mischievous than, I don't know what that is. But yeah.
I'd say that's a bit more than just mischievous, Jill.
Yes.
It's downright rude.
It was.
Anyway,
yeah, the kids can be that way.
I was.
Oh yeah, Krona says, dang kids. Not exactly. No, Dalek dipped Cybermen in boiling oil as a prank. Trelane is AQ, but not Q. Trelane is a Q, but not
I'm
Q.
saying check out those Greg Cox books, and I would say check out the Peter David book, Q Squared.
Okay, I will. Right away.
Because
right now. I'm gonna go buy it.
Well, don't come on.
Just
you
kidding.
can probably get okay.
You always tell me to go to the library when I want to buy books.
Yeah, go to the library. It'll be there.
You go to the library because you want a DVD. Like, you could go to the library too.
I've never heard of library.
So quit telling me to go to the library. I like to buy books.
Well, and I like to have, you know what? I don't like to leave my house to get to the library. That's why I bring the library to my house.
There you go. Exactly. My point.
Okay, I'm glad.
Gotta resolve that. The Mooner says,
totes.
oh, the Mooner's here. Hey, Mooner.
Hey, Mooner.
When Spock tells Trelane, I object to intellect without reason, I immediately thought of Twitter for some reason.
I object to intellect without discipline.
And yeah, agreed.
Yeah, too bad there isn't any intellect on Twitter. So.
Darius Munchausen says, yes, Jill sounds like an eloquent, intelligent chipmunk at 2 times speed. Scotty just sounds like Scotty, but even more excited. I knew it.
Well, I've been wrestling with being a furry, and I don't know. Like, Jill, if you're a chipmunk, does that reinforce?
I don't know. That's up to
Like,
you.
am
I have nothing to do with that.
Okay, fair enough.
And way back at
stupid, but I'm gonna do it, okay?
Way back at 1:54 p.m. Darius Munchausen said, I remember Kirsten Dunst as the chick from
Melancholia.
Who Could Count Beans in a Drawer.
Yes.
Why?
It's a very existential film.
Okay. Ervik Saunders says, I'm a violinist and have played in many Baroque ensembles. And
You're a
harpsichord
violinist. I have a ukulele.
is what made it so uniquely Baroque. Love it. And back at 1:57 p.m., Darius said, I agree with Scotty. It's one thing to not know stuff, but ignorance is not wanting to learn more or change your mind. Ignoring the truth and possibility of knowledge. Oh, yeah, I read that one, but it's a good one. That's why I was starred.
Yay.
Yeah. Darius agrees that the Great Gazoo was jumping the shark.
I like the Great Gazoo.
Yeah, but only Fred could see him, so it's kind of silly.
I thought Barney could see him too.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, when the plot called for it, I guess so.
Well, really is okay. So here's the thing. So the Flintstones, it has a believability, a suspension of disbelief that you can accept, right?
I guess so.
And then all of a sudden, you introduce the Great Gazoo, and it's like, no, this doesn't, no. That's when you stop.
Right.
Why?
I've always loved those old Hanna-Barbera
because
cartoons.
the plots were a lot more interesting and involved all the rest of the characters, and there was some kind of cool thing going on. And when the Kazoo came around, the writing also started going downhill, I think.
The writing of the Flintstones you're referring to.
Yes,
all right.
I was a discriminating child.
Wow. I didn't know you were so literary when it came to the works of both Hanna and Barbera.
I was. And I noticed the difference. It's like he took over the show a bit.
It's stupid, but I'm gonna do it, okay?
The Mooner says, furry fetish talk should be reserved for the cat girl Iris from Assignment Earth. Well, we'll get there when we get there.
I don't know.
Um,
Oh, I know.
This episode should die!
There we go.
I 100% agree. They were the best. They were up there with the Warner Brothers cartoons.
Yeah, Hanna-Barbera were the best.
Yeah, Hanna-Barbera.
All right, Dalek. I have a personality test for you.
Uh-oh. I'm scared. I know, right? I don't want this to happen.
You have a choice between 3. Are you a Bugs Bunny? Are you a Daffy Duck? Or are you a Porky Pig?
I mean, would I say I'm most like one of those 3?
Yep.
Oh boy.
I'm a Daffy Duck.
Just purely on like whose personality am I closest to?
Yes, it's a personality
not
test.
which
yes.
not which one I like the best.
Exactly. You don't get to choose, but you know who you are.
Because if you're asking me which one I thought was what I liked the best.
Oh, everyone wants to be a Bugs Bunny.
Of course I'd say Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm a Daffy Duck.
Mm-hmm. So
what are you?
Me?
Well, yeah, Jill, what are you?
Well, I've said before I like the coyote, and he said that he's a subset of Bugs Bunny.
Is a subset of Bugs Bunny.
But I don't know.
Actually, you know what? He's a subset of Daffy.
Daffy. Yeah, that makes some more sense because he doesn't succeed. The Bugs Bunny would be the Roadrunner.
Yeah, exactly. In that mathematical equation, yes.
Anyway, I think we've hit the end of this live stream.
I'd say the coyote is basically like he's like equal and opposite of Bugs Bunny. Because in terms of intellectually and in terms of resourcefulness, they're both the same, but the difference is Bugs always wins, the coyote always loses.
So I'd like to thank, so this was our review of Squire of Gothos. And so I just wanted to thank everybody on the panel who was here. We had Pop Culture Curator, who brings lots of fun knowledge about the episode, external production notes, and he brought that today as well. And thank you to Scotty R3G7, who makes the show more vibrant and more fun. Thank you. And also great character.
Dance with somebody.
Great character.
I want to feel the heat with somebody.
And thank you to Dalek451 for hanging out with us and giving us your review,
as always,
of the episode and talking about all the stuff you like to talk about. And thank you for listening, everybody who's here.
Just let me know, when are we going live?
Well, actually, we're going to end the show in a few minutes.
Okay, great.
I just wanted to thank everybody who's here. I might not get to everyone because there was a long stream, but thank you to JPRPH1. He says thanks, panel and Jill in chat. Great stream. And Darius finally caught up just in time to hear me say goodbye. So long.
Monsieur
farewell.
Munchausen.
And Cronus, thank you for being here, Cronus. It's always an exciting time when you're here in the chat. And Snortopoopus.
Gross. Snortopoopus.
Snortopoopus Cuber. He always makes me laugh.
Snortopoopus Cuber.
What a Wookiee.
That is the best Raymond Feliciano impression. Good job.
Lord Thoth.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, Lord Thoth. The security. security officer.
I can't resist saying it that like that because all the times I've heard Raymond say it.
You forgot the .com.
No, I didn't.
And thank you for hanging out, Cardinal Sin. He's got an amazing channel, so everyone definitely check it out. He's got Walter Bosley on tomorrow for his Into the Fringe show. I think that's tomorrow. Wait, Thursday. Sorry, not tomorrow. Excuse me. So Thursday night, he's got Walter Bosley, I think. And,
Delightful.
Yes. And thank you, the Mooner, for showing up and out. He's about the episode. He says,
I'll buy that question, Scotty. I'd like to say I'm a Bugs Bunny, but I'm probably in some ways I'm probably a little closer to Daffy Duck.
I feel like Daffy sometimes, but more Coyote Daffy than Daffy.
I am really impressed by people who will acknowledge themselves as being a Porky Pig. Like, I think that Porky is a humble, logical bystander. And I think that most people, even me saying that I identify myself as a Daffy Duck, I don't think I have achieved that status. I think I'm actually a Porky Pig. I think that most people who are like, you know what, I'm a Daffy Duck, and it's like, you know what, you're more of a Porky.
But no one
and
wants
that
to
has
claim
nothing
it.
to do with being like chubby or whatever. It's just the personality. Now, remember when Porky Pig was Friar Tuck in the, the Robin Hood?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Porky Pig is the boss in that episode. Anyway, I think that a lot of people, and myself included, identify as Daffy when we are less.
That's why I like when Snortopoopas says Daffy Dalek. And
Daffy Dalek.
Makes sense.
And Darius says Scotty is happy enough to be a Porky.
I am happy enough to be a Porky. I wish I were a Daffy, but I want to be a Bugs.
And thank you so much for hanging out, Cinema Gulp. I don't know if I have your channel on my list yet. I gotta update it.
Do something.
All right. I'm trying to
keep clicking.
I'm just gonna keep clicking until I find what I'm looking for.
Yeah. It's like a machine gun.
Oh, there they are. I found it. Well, there. See, I have my weapons. They're right here.
Well, okay. So what is the rest of your broadcast week looking like coming into the holidays?
Well, tomorrow I do Batman Returns, and that's until the end of the year.
Okay.
And then we pick it back up with the animated series next year on the 2nd with Pop Culture Curator to talk about season 2, and then Arena on my channel next day.
We have to talk about aliens.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. I can see why. I understand.
Cool. So are we done?
Yeah, I think we're done. I just wanted to say thanks to Dave G Sound, Lemon Pie, Captain Infinity, Admiral Teague. Tim's talk was here, and I did not even see him fly by.
Oh, and congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. I love you. 3,000. Let's get him to 3,000.
Congratulations, Tim Talk, on 1,000 subscribers. I didn't know you made it.
Oh,
awesome.
Congrats, Tim. I didn't know that either.
He works so hard.
Mm-hmm. And Nemesis of Eden, great having you here. Matt G is also pretty great.
What do you mean by that, Nemesis?
And I'm sorry, I'm just flying through.
Don't answer that.
if they're even here anymore. And thank you for being here, Raymond Feliciano. Everybody subscribe to King Dolphin TV. Great fun.
Hello.
Yes! Yes! And Sub Commander Tall, thank you for being here. And yes, I love that clip. Thank you for playing it. And anybody else I missed?
I think they're showing that film on the beat sometime. They're showing that film on Christmas Eve over here.
James
Home
Caserta.
Alone?
Get to the chopper.
Yeah, Home Alone.
Nice.
Keely Chow was here. Sweet. And also, way back when Bird of Prey 5 stopped by for a bit. And now we're way back at the beginning. So,
but, Jill, do you know what I want for Christmas?
What do you want for Christmas?
So what'll happen? That's just it. We don't know. Maybe something bad. Maybe something good.
Absolutely smashing.
Who's doing that? You or Jill?
I did it. I did it this time.
They like you very much, but they are not the hell you're whales.
Nice.
They like you very much, but they are not the hell you're whales.
I love that scene.
No, but I skipped it. I didn't mean to double press it. Anyway, this
That's
is
okay.
weird.
Well, that's our live stream about the Squire of Gothos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember talking about that. You know what? I'm gonna give it an A.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. I know it was like it went from a B+ to an A+.
It rose the ranks.
Mm-hmm.
Retired.
Yeah, so so next week I'm not going to stream Star Trek.
I know that's gonna suck.
But the week after that I will. So on
what is
January,
the next one? Arena.
January 3rd. We'll talk
I'll say this, Jill. If there's any episode I'm looking forward to you doing, I'm looking forward to you doing Mirror Mirror.
Mirror Mirror, me too. That'll be great. I can't wait for that. But January 3rd will be Arena, and I'll show you the preview for that to take us out.
The fight with the Gorn, right?
Yes.
Right.
So I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Thanks for playing.
Night and Merry Christmas, everybody.
He's dead. He's dead, Joe. She's dead, Joe. He's dead. She's dead. It's dead. She's dead. He's dead.
Captain's log, stardate 3045.6. The Enterprise has responded to a call from Cestus 3. On landing, we have discovered that the outpost has been destroyed.
How can you explain a massacre like that?
You must make certain that the alien vessel never reaches its home base.
I intend to. Firing phasers, Captain.
What about the captain? If I could help him, I would. I cannot.
We destroyed invaders, as I shall destroy you.